Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I've crammed some food into my face. I poured myself a cool drink, and I found one of the best-looking casters on the internet. I got Gulen here with me. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's
actually really awesome to be casting with the other best-looking caster in the league.
It's pretty wild. They shouldn't let us do this. It's too much good-looking power on the internet. But speaking of good-looking stuff, we got two good-looking teams tonight.
Damn right we do.
We got Air versus Infernal. This is really, really hype. We got two of the top-of-the-table teams duking it out, kind of like towards the end of the regular season. They've gotten some games under their belt, and they are here, and they are ready to go. This is super hype.
Yeah, these are definitely some of the top teams, and this is going to be an epic match no matter which way it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that.
We have really good matchups across the board. We of course have the legendary. I think this is the first time we've gotten to see Icicly versus Shu in the mid lane since Icicly shifted mid. Since Shu had gone 80 carry last season, we have Cobalt versus Shoemaker in the top lane, which is always a banger. We have Unstream versus Sable.
Yeah, I think the Unstream versus Sable is a really good one. I'm looking forward to that.
It's some good stuff. We like to see that. But yeah, it's going to be sick. What are your thoughts kind of initially about the matchup? Who do you think might have the edge here?
Well, I think looking at the numbers, Infernal has some advantage with just the fact that Shu has been a monster, able to carry them through, and their victories are certainly backing that up. But Airdrake is definitely one of those teams that can they channel it when it matters, and when they're in those really intense games, they'll bring their play up to match the team that they're playing. So I think that's why Airdrake is so good at contending with the top teams.
Yeah, and that being said, I think we actually have a quick word from the Infernal roster coming to you now. Go check this out.
We've all felt what you're feeling, and we've come to terms with it.
Really? Right here? I'm
Shu.
I'm bad guy?
Shu. Hey, Shu.
I relate to you.
Cobalt.
When I hit bottom, I was crushing
Mid
skull like sparrow egg between my thighs. And I think, why do you have to be so bad?
Shu.
Why can't you be more like good guy? Then I have moment of clarity. If
Shu.
is good guy, who'll crush
Mid
skull like sparrow's egg between thighs. And I say,
Shu.
if you are bad guy, but this does not mean you're bad guy.
Right. I'm sorry. You lost me there.
Spence Champ, bad guy. Hi, Spence. Shu.
Saying labels not make you happy.
Slow. Boring.
You must love you.
Yeah, inside here.
Whoa, okay. Oh, all right, I get you. Watch out, it's dripping.
Question.
Cobalt.
We've been asking you to bat it on for years now, and tonight you finally show up. Why is that?
I don't know, I just felt like coming. I mean, I suppose it has something to do with the fact that, well, today's the
6th season of Team Infernal.
Happy anniversary.
Cobalt.
Thanks, Satan.
It's
Sable.
actually.
Got it. But here's the thing. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
You can't mess with the program.
Cobalt.
You're not going casual, are you?
Casual? No, I'm not going casual. Come on, guys. Is it casual to play a controlled game? Or scrim? Or a scale?
Is it
Casual?
want more out of life?
Cobalt. Cobalt.
We get it, but we can't change who we are. And the sooner you accept that, the better off your game and your life will be.
Hey, one game at a time.
Cobalt.
Now let's close out with the bad guy affirmation. I am bad. That's good.
I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Okay, gang, see you next week.
Listen, I can't do snacks.
Hang in there.
Cobalt. Hell yeah, one game at a time is all it takes. Infernal trying to rewrite their story, trying to get some fans with this game, and I say if they can pull out a win against Air here, they're probably going to get a pretty good following. But
Yeah.
both teams, as we were kind of talking about before, go for this like late game, cool, calm, collected early game, and scale into the late game. And who do you think maybe has the upper hand in this? And what do you think decides who comes out on top?
I think you're right that both teams kind of like to they like to play it really safe, and they try not to make those plays that are kind of gonna like the 50-50 plays. Like they want to try to play it slow and like you said, kind of scale out. So yeah, when seeing two teams against each other like that, it'll be interesting. And I think the jungle is going to be a really big part of deciding that. I think the early pressure in the jungle is going to like set them up to be like who can actually start dictating where the teams are going to be going and who can control what objectives they're going to be fighting over.
Yeah, and taking a quick look at some of these stats we have for the junglers, it's about as even as it can get. Like exact same KDAs, kill participation, a little bit favored in the side of Unstream. Percent of team damage, it basically doesn't matter because they're both basically doing about the same. Both of them coming out a little bit ahead in the CS difference. Sable with a monstrous ward score. Honestly, I think that the vision score here is might be the turning point. If Sable can do a good job of tracking Unstream and providing protection for Shu, there's a good chance that Sable and Shu can kind of do the legendary Sable and Shu combo, which is take over games in a very cool, controlled fashion. But Unstream has he has some really good picks. I'd expect we see probably like a Nocturne ban, which can kind of skirt around any well-placed vision just by having that paranoia at level 6. So I don't know. I think there's some really good play to be had between the two junglers, and it'll be interesting to see how they decide to path, who they want to prioritize protecting, and maybe what they're going to try attacking.
Yeah, and I think the mid lane is probably going to be, like you said, where they're going to focus, just because they know that Shu can get really ahead and be really powerful if you can just give them a little bit of an edge. And so it's going to be, I think a lot of this is going to be in the mental of Icicly to play safe, play back, and be okay with kind of forfeiting some lane pressure to Shu, and then kind of just playing around that and letting them get out of that lane phase. And if Infernal dumps a whole bunch of their jungle pressure into that mid lane trying to make something happen, but Icicly can stay safe, then there's a lot of opportunities elsewhere on the map for them to get ahead.
Absolutely. And with that, we are getting into champ select now of Game 1 versus Infernal versus Air. Whew. Akali being taken away. That's pretty typical. No shock there to me. No shock there to you. There we go. The Nocturne that we were just talking about, having that kind of global gank pressure being taken off the table. Senna and J4 being targeted against Rovian. Sable is not going to get his hands on the Jarvan.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Jarvan is played by both the junglers on both sides. So I guess they're comfortable taking that off, and they feel like they have enough options to play up art from that.
And then the Yasuo Yasuo and Vlad. Okay. So the Vlad is also played by both champions. Thank you for the follow, Rekt2. Much love. Welcome to the Rekt League. You're in for a real treat. But yeah, so the Yasuo being taken away, which can also be a flex between Shoemaker and Icicly. But I think that Icicly wants to go in. If like maybe they're banning this away, he's probably been playing it a fair bit, which means he wants to take it to Shu, which is a tall order. Everyone knows it. Nobody takes it to Shu.
And it's especially interesting.
Shu takes it to you.
Yeah, Shu takes it to you, and Icicly wanted to take it to Shu.
Yeah.
And it's actually interesting that Infernal. Oh, we're gonna get a. Here, I think.
Yep, someone just left the lobby. It seems like someone probably got a bugged.
Oh, hit a bug.
Yep, Shoemaker had no champions, so
unfortunate.
Yeah, should probably have some champions if you're going to join the Rekt League. Worthy Dust, thank you for this. You're continuing the gifted sub. Hell yeah, brother. Let's go. Clanky Biggs, thanks for following the Rekt League. He's reloading the client. But okay, so looking back at some of those bans, we saw the Yasuo, we saw the Vladimir. Notably, we do have some of the Shu favorites still on the table. We have the Victor, we have the Kassadin. I don't think he's going to opt to play Kassadin against Icicly. I think that he probably has a little bit too much respect for the aggression that Icicly can put out to kind of play that kind of passive laning style. What do you think we might see from the man Shu? Or
I
from
think
Icicly?
it depends a lot on. I think we'll have to see how they prioritize the pick order and if they're going to want to give Shu a counter pick, because I think if they let Shu get the counter pick, it means that they're leaning more heavily into that lane and they want Shu to be able to pick someone aggressive. But if they do just pick, I think that if they pick Shu in the first 3, then that means they're respecting Icicly and they're saying like, okay, we'll actually just chill here. We're not going to pick anything too crazy like a Kassadin.
So you're saying if they don't pick Shu in the first 3, they're disrespecting Icicly?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah. That's one way to read into it, yeah.
Yep. So same bans coming out. Nautilus being picked up, prioritized for Spence Champ. Looking great on that champion, provides a lot of CC. Just that easy front line, easy engage, does a lot. A Rekt League staple, if you will.
Yeah, we've seen Nautilus in a lot of games on a lot of different teams in the Rekt League so far.
Mm-hmm. Shoemaker, able to pick a champion this time around, is going for the Caitlyn for Trustiest Karma. We didn't even touch upon this. Wild Tortuga is not available to play this week. Apparently his computer just like totally shit the bed. So here we are, Trustiest Karma coming in. Really unfortunate for Air, but I don't think it'll hamper them too much in what they want to do. Wild Tortuga was playing really well, but I don't think the whole game really pivoted on his performance so much. But we're gonna see the respect towards Shu with the Cassiopeia being picked up for Icicly.
Yeah, and that's a really strong pick that you can. I mean, you can play it safe enough, even though she's not particularly mobile. You're definitely capable of playing it safely into whatever kind of Shu wants to throw at him.
Yeah,
so that's a solid pick.
And this classic Sable Rek'Sai, as we know, really good at this kind of vision game, has a lot of early potential for good ganks, dueling, just kind of in general what they like to do on Infernal is get through the early game on the back of Sable and then let Shu and Rovian carry pretty hard from there. And Diana being picked up for Shu. We saw the great Shu Dini pull off some big moves on the Diana, so maybe we'll see a few more.
Yeah, it's definitely an assassin that he's been able to make a lot of plays on. He's been able to get some nice 1v1s, but also do a lot in the team fight. And looks like Galio coming out for Air Drake now. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go. Maybe support.
Maybe that's a Galio support. I don't think the Shoemaker or Icicly would touch that with a 10-foot pole, especially into their given matchups. But who knows? I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
I guess we'll have to see. I mean, Cassiopeia... You know, there are rumors that Cassiopeia could be played top into some matchups. Maybe they're trying to flex it.
I've heard that. It's a pretty ballsy game 1 maneuver, but I guess if you're going to go for it game 1, and if it doesn't stick, then figure it out from there.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Diana into Cassiopeia is that if Cassiopeia can start the fight off with a Miasma on top of Diana kind of just has to slowly walk away. She can't dash immediately on top of Cassiopeia to make a trade. So that could be some advantage to her.
Yeah. And taking a look at some of these bans, we're seeing Ornn taken off the table, Cho'Gath as well, targeting the champ pool of Cobalt. Nasus is very notably still left up, who I think that they're trying to bait onto the Nasus. They might have some kind of really juicy pick prepared for this.
Yeah, I think the fact that they're not picking the Nasus means they're daring them. They're daring them to pick the Susan, and we'll see if they do.
Yeah, Cobalt has a very deep and wide champion pool, so I wouldn't be surprised if he opts for something else just for the sake of being safe. He can still play Maokai.
Depends if they smell the trap, right? Maybe
Right.
they're thinking, oh, what a bunch of fools.
I
leaving Nasus open."
I would wager that they probably smell the trap, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll
Trying to
see.
decide what AD carry they want to pick. Rovian hovering the Ezreal, gonna lock it in. Gangplank and Amumu also taken away. I'm interested by the Amumu. I guess it might be off the back of like the same ideas. Like if both teams are just gonna try and work on scaling, then Amumu just does a ton. But I feel like Rek'Sai would be doing a very good job of shutting down that Amumu early.
Yeah, it would at least be a hard time. And yeah, there's a Malphite coming out. They're not falling for any of that Nasus nonsense.
Nope.
So now I think is where maybe Airdrake's cards, their hand will be shown here. Maybe, and we'll get a glance at
I would hope so.
they're
There's no
trying to
more
look-
picks to be had. This is their hand.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm wondering if they'll pick another confusing flex pick. Oh,
Oh,
okay, they're trolling
wait.
us.
No, I don't think they're trolling us.
Oh man,
So I think
they're
it's just the
trolling us.
Cassiopeia
Oh
top.
my god. They're not trolling us at all.
They got the Trundle, but they ain't trolling.
Oh,
So
oh man.
I've heard from Isaac that he is taken to Syndra with a passion.
Yep.
He really enjoys the champion. It kind of allows them to play a little bit outside of their typical play style, get some more early lane aggression. But this Cassiopeia top,
That's spicy. And you know what? I didn't want to say anything in case Team Infernal was listening, but I have heard of the Cassiopeia top coming right from Airdrake.
I've heard about it for like 3 seasons, and I've been waiting for it. Every time they pick Cassiopeia, I'm waiting for it. But today is the day. In the match versus Infernal, and into the Malphite, no less.
Yeah, I mean, I guess obviously Cassiopeia is really good against any melee matchup. Post 6, that seems pretty scary, but I guess again, Miasma can actually stop the Malphite ults. So if they can make a pick, like Trundle gets a gank onto Malphite while he's in the Miasma, he can't even dash out.
Yeah. So taking a quick
that'll
look at
be
some of these
interesting.
top lane stats, which might just like based off this matchup, I don't know if these stats are really going to tell the story because this is a pretty wild one.
Yeah.
But again, like both these players are so close in what they do. Shoemaker makes up a larger percentage of the team's damage. That's just the role that he plays because Cobalt doesn't need to. Rovian and Shu are just like insane DPS and just very reliable carries. All that Cobalt has to do is kind of provide either pressure in a side lane with something like a Nasus, or be that big front line, that big beefy front line playing the Maokai or the Cho'Gath, which works really well for them. Shoemaker, on the other hand, is he's in charge.
Gotta dish it out.
He's looking to take it to you. He picks the Rise, he picks the Gangplank, he picks the Wukong, and now he picks the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about like playing a top laner who's going to be doing damage, getting kills, and winning team fights, I mean, Cassiopeia, that's it, right? Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, this is some big league spice. I am a little worried though. I mean,
Yeah,
there is a that's pretty sketch, and Shoemaker is kind of known to have some pretty volatile laning phases, pushing up a little bit far and just kind of straight up getting ganked. So
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
worried
it's-
for Shoemaker's life in this one. I think
Yeah.
that there's going to be a lot of jungle attention there, and hopefully Airdrake is able to counter that. But I think we're going to see Sable top early this game.
which you don't see often, and maybe they don't adapt. So maybe they're just trying to call Infernal and maybe not being so practiced on actually focusing top and just kind of hoping they'll go for their normal plan of camping bottom lane and for Shu,
Yep.
and just kind of allowing this 1v1 to exist.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be you're right. This is going to be a test for Infernal Drake. They've shown how dominant they are because they have a game plan and they execute it. This is such a weird pick by Airdrake that this is going to be a test of how well Infernal can actually adapt to kind of weird off-meta strategies.
Absolutely. That's definitely a telling match. Got ourselves a good one. Taking a quick look into this jungle matchup, Trundle versus Rek'Sai. Both of them have a lot of early pressure. Rek'Sai probably has a better gank setup. The pillar is quite good, but being able to do the flash on Burrow on Rek'Sai can just secure a ton of kills pretty reliably. I don't play a ton of mid lane. How do you feel this Diana Syndra matchup goes? I know that Syndra just kind of bops a lot of people early, and it's just kind of up to Shu to just get to 6 and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, I think there's more outplay potential on the side of Shu, and he's also one to be able to execute on the outplay potential. So I think I actually favor this lane to Shu. I think Diana is just one of the mid laners that, more than others at least, can survive the Syndra burst. At least once she's maybe 6 and able to fight back. And then, like, once Diana gets on top of Syndra has to play this perfectly. She has got to hit her stun or she's going to die. And I think Diana can actually survive the burst if there's not enough balls already on the ground.
Gotta have all the balls in your court.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No skin for Syndra.
Like, this is rough. I bet they do wish they... I mean, Wild Tortuga, bless up. The guy's great. Having Trustiest Karma on the Caitlyn, very safe pick. Probably has the priority into this Ezreal early. But, I don't know. It's a very... I'm excited. I don't have, like...
Yeah.
I can't really say which way this goes, one way or the other. All I know is I'm fearing for Shoemaker's life. We're going to be watching that closely, and we're going to be loading onto the Rift right now for game number 1 of Air versus Infernal.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a super exciting matchup just because you're right. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah. If we can actually...
Yeah, if we can get in.
This is... So we wait patiently.
Yep.
We're all very patient here in the Rekt League. There we go. Let the hype resume.
You'll notice that Shoemaker has Conquer on Cassiopeia. I think that's probably common, right?
That's pretty meta.
Yeah, just because the amount of damage or the amount of spells you're going to be hitting on people.
Sure. Yeah, a high DPS champion. Cobalt, is that the prestige skin? I think it must be because I think that's the Dark Star prestige.
My god,
that's a big top lane flex right there.
Yeah, oh my god.
Barely
even looks like Malphite.
No, that's pretty wild. The fact that Malphite got a prestige skin. 2020 is definitely a weird year. Weird for everyone.
Yeah, Infernal is stacking up on this bush, just kind of hoping that Airdrake decides to walk into him, which certainly would be death with a Nautilus and all that damage to follow up. But Airdrake's gonna just do the classic lineup, which is actually, I think they do that quite often. They just do the lineup and they don't really want to muck around at level 1. They feel like as long as nothing gets too crazy before the laning phase starts, they feel like they can do well.
Yep, absolutely. Dropping some early wards to kind of protect any invades. As we see here. But yeah, no Spice of Life. We're going to see Sable and Unstream going for their red buffs, respectively. Sable going to be pathing topside towards this very vulnerable Cassiopeia.
Oh, Airdrake looks like they're taking this blue buff.
Ooh.
Or, no, they're just... Nope, they're changing their mind. And they're split up here at the bottom lane. Trusty's Karma's going to be walking in alone, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but that was
weird. Maybe they wanted it to be so convincing that they leashed blue that they actually shot it.
They actually shot it.
It's like method acting in their attempt here.
Take notes, everybody. This is some big league stuff. So yeah, taking a quick look, Sable going for his Krugs first. Nothing too fancy there. We do see Unstream going for his blue buff into Gromp. Gonna get this level 3 very, very quickly. He should have a pretty good gank attempt on this bot lane, or mid, and definitely have prio on this bot lane crap.
Yeah, we've seen Nautilus get bullied time and time again. When he's paired up with an AD carry who is mobile like Ezreal, a lot of the time junglers just opt to kill the Nautilus, and you can get a lot of repeat kills on Nautilus, especially if you burn his flash. You throw a pillar in his way, he's got no wall to hook to. I mean, Nautilus is actually sometimes a juicy target. Oh. But in the jungle here, Unstream and Sable are fighting. I don't think they're really sure who's going to be winning. Sable changes his mind. He says, actually, yeah, I'm not going to beat this troll level 3. But it looks close.
Yep. The team is collapsing, though. Spence Champ is here. He's going to try and throw a hook, maybe. A nice stun is going to get a little bit of chip damage onto Shu. Dissuade any aggression.
Yeah, good response from both teams there. Sable is actually going to come out of that. There's quite a bit of damage on him, whereas Unstream playing the Trundle not only won the encounter, but again, Trundle's got quite a bit better sustain. I think he's just waiting for the scuttle to come up, yeah.
Yep, just buying a little bit of time. It's up now. Basically a free health pack. And this Malphite getting severely shoved in.
Uh-oh. This is what we were talking about.
Yep. Whoop, here
Oh,
it
but
is.
Shoemaker smells it. Smells it coming.
Yep.
No vision, but his snaky senses were tingling.
Tingling big time.
Unstream's gonna spot out that top scuttle's been taken by Infernal. Just gonna move into his upper jungle. Maybe just trying to farm up. He's trying to think about what to do.
Yep. And Danny Taco and Trustiest Karma faring well in this early laning phase. Roby and Spence Champ don't have a ton of priority right now, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, it's hard when you're Ezreal. Like Ezreal in the very first encounter before you've had a chance to back is just so weak, especially because a lot of people opt for. Well, actually, he opted for a deep blade, so it's not too bad. But a lot of people take deep shield as well.
Right. Here we see Unstream going up top lane. Maybe you can smell something, get something?
I think they're waiting for that to push in a bit, but if they choose to do this here, that's a lot of minions. Yeah, the fight is going to start. Unstream is running in, gets a pillar down, but Cobalt's going to just walk away. He's taking a bit of damage. He's going to flash early, just to avoid the damage and get out. Good gank by Unstream. Takes a caster minion as tax.
Yep, good flash. Definitely sacrifices a little bit of farm, but he's going to be able to take a little bit of Sable's jungle.
Yeah, I mean that's a really tricky situation because like on one hand, yeah, Cobalt is in a good ganking position because there's so many minions and he's gonna step up. But on the other hand, there's like 6 caster minions there or more, so it's gonna be he's actually gonna have a bit of damage and blockers there.
And as we were talking about before, this mid lane is going. I mean, in the hands of Shu, this is going pretty well, right? Like. We're not seeing anything too crazy. Oh, except for right now.
Oh,
Shu
he
getting
doesn't
a little
get the
aggressive.
stun. Yeah. Yeah, I mean honestly, being up in farm in a melee matchup against ranged is
And Shu
seems
is
like a win.
And Shu is almost level 6. He's just being very cheeky. He hits it right here.
Yeah, Isokli's got to be really careful here. I think Shu totally has the potential. Although Isokli has exhaust. Oh, nice stun he hits on him. He is level 6, but he doesn't have enough mana. Yeah, he just pinged it. I think he thought, he was really hoping he was going to have enough to burst him there.
You want to take down Shu, but you don't got the mana for it. Feels bad.
Still, well played by Isokli though. Does push him out of the lane, and he's going to take a bit more farm here. Just about evening them up.
Yep. And Shu opting to buy a Null Magic Mantle and a big tome and a big ring.
Yeah, buying the early Null Magic Mantle against Syndra, it's kind of like when you get it against LeBlanc, where just that little bit of magic resist, it's enough so that you feel confident in surviving the burst. And then because you're like a more sustained mage, that gives you an opportunity to do a lot more damage and actually get the kill after they've blown their burst.
Yeah. And like notably the Shu does opt for teleport, so he now has control of this lane, kind of forcing Isokli to stay here as he shoves it in, or else just going to fall quite far behind with in minions.
Yeah, and I think they know that Isokli is going to either be backing here or he's just totally out of mana in the lane, so they're going to take that opportunity to put some wards into the Airdrake jungle, just getting a little bit of pressure.
Yep. Isokli channeling his back now, doing his thing. Cobalt and Shu taking a walk around, seeing what they can see, but not able to see a lot. Oh, Isokli decides not to back.
Yeah, I think he just wants the cannon wave. Maybe he's close to buying something. I mean, I don't think Shu has any dive potential here, but he certainly can't provide any pressure elsewhere in the map until he's had a chance to back and buy and get mana.
Yeah, it feels like the Isokli's just got some serious FOMO right now. Just doesn't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah, I feel that. I've been there.
This bot lane, truly just a farm fest. Just doing what they need to do. Farm up, scale. We are seeing Sable clear out a ward on this Airdrake. It is going to be pinged out, spotted. But I think that right now Infernal has the priority to just take this.
Yeah, I think so. Again, like, Isokli, he has a blue buff for the mana, but he's still only sitting on a D ring, so really the amount of pressure is pretty limited.
Right. So, Cobalt doing his best in this top lane. Shoemaker is just, like, applying so much pressure though, and Sable is nowhere to be seen. Except for
Yeah, we were wrong about that early top pressure.
Yeah, no, he's not exerting it.
Yeah.
Not exerting. But that being said, they are able to pick up the early dragon. They're going to be trading this for the Herald on the other side of the map. Great trade from both teams. Kind of just like very good awareness of what they can and can't do. Aaron knew that they weren't really going to be able to tussle with that. Shu having the upper hand in this mid lane matchup. So kind of just opting for a trade.
Yeah, good play by both teams. You gotta kind of respecting each other. I think everyone's a little bit nervous because they both know this is a big game. Nobody wants to give the other team 4 kills at an objective. Oh, Sable gets the flash knock up into a Sickly. A ton of damage comes out immediately. I mean, there's nothing you can do there. He just goes down to that Sable, to the Rekt ult.
And Icically, welcome to the Shu Sable show. This is your first time being privy to it. Yeah, definitely great play there in the mid lane. Shu and Sable able to team up. Sable getting a nice early lead.
That was a really late flash on that knockup from Sable too. I actually was surprised there. I thought he had finished his tunnel already. That's nice.
Yeah, and as Darth had pointed out, Icically with no sums now against Diana is
Yeah.
big rough.
Yeah, because that kill, the fact that they burned the summoners and got the kill, means that Shu now, I think it's one of those situations where Shu can hold the mid lane entirely on his own now. Now I think Sable feels freed up to go maybe help the other parts of the map.
Right. Airdrake kind of hiding in a bush.
Yeah, they were thinking about that.
They're thinking about something. They're just gonna go farm. Nothing too crazy.
Farm about even in the bot lane. Both. Everyone's doing pretty well in the bot lane. Nothing too crazy happening. Just getting gold and waiting for that mid game. Which, like we said, that's kind of the strategy, the game plan of both teams.
Right. It looks like Unstream might be thinking on just waiting for this minion wave to shove and summoning the Herald. Just trying to snowball as fast as they can this Cassiopeia in the top lane.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. And Cobalt does teleport to try to defend it, and he'll probably be able to kill some minions here, but that Rift Herald is going to do a lot of damage to that top tower. Actually, Icically is here looking for the dive too. He misses the stun. That Trundle Subjugate is going to pull some tower aggro, but 3 people up there plus a Rifty means that tower is going down.
Yep, that is cash money into the pocket of Airdrake, and just like that, the gold lead is just evened up. That's a very early first tower.
Yeah. What's better, guys, Rifty or Dragon?
Yeah, you tell us. Oh, but that being said, some really like smart play, kind of just like dancing around each other.
Oh, on stream. Oh, Shu's gonna immediately ult him. Ooh, yeah, on stream's gonna flash away from that. I think he was, even with Icically there, he might have been in trouble if Shu was able to hit that.
Yeah, that was definitely a big brain play there for Shu. Shu playing very like, oh my god, Shu is up a ton of farm right now.
Yeah, it's just a level advantage too. I mean, that at the time Shu was level 9 to Unstream 6. That's terrifying.
That is, yeah, very. that is not the Shu you want to tussle with.
It is not. And the farm is breaking away too. It's up about 20-30 farm in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we are seeing Malphite finishing the Spectre's Cowl, stacking some more MR. He's gonna be in an okay spot. He's not in a spot like in a place where he's like so far out of this. He's doing his job. It's a hard lane. He's like 20 CS down, but no biggie.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing what he can. Oh, they're gonna initiate onto Icically again. The stun is actually gonna miss onto Shu, and the miasma kind of comes out a bit wide of both of them. Sable's gonna ult onto Icically. He's gonna drop his ult, but Shoemaker's actually chasing Shu down. Not gonna quite get him. Knockup comes down. Shu just kind of helping from the outside, but Unstream is gonna come save Shoemaker, who is getting really close to death from that red buff there.
This is
Unstream's gonna try to see if he can take on Shu. Shu's ult actually doesn't do that much, and he's gonna force the flash out. Sable got a little greedy looking for that shot. Unstream gets knocked up, but he is Trundle. He's pretty fast. He might be able to catch him.
Yep.
But Sable's got a nice little escape tunnel.
Yep. Pops the challenging smite, gets the tunnel, and dips.
Teleport coming down from Shu. Tries to catch Unstream. in the river, but is not quite able to catch him.
Nope, and just in time for Dragon. Looks like they're going to try and maybe pick that up. Sable is backing right now, though. Action in the bot lane.
Oh yeah, look at this. Oh man, Svenschap is just going to get locked up by that turret. Just tries to hook away, but gets a nice troll club for his efforts. And now that they, with the support for Team Infernal down, Air Drake is going to probably be able to secure this Infernal Drake without any issues.
Nope, I don't think Sable's going to be there in time. That is going to be an Infernal Drake over to Air, taking the namesake Dragon.
That's the flex. Actually, if you look, the Team Infernal has the Air Drake, and Team Air has the Infernal Drake.
It doesn't get any closer than this, fam. The gold is dead even.
Yeah, the gold
they
is
each have
even.
each other's drakes.
Oh man.
This match is proving worthy of the hype.
Yeah, I mean, even as the game goes on, I mean, I guess it's tricky because the Cassiopeia to Malphite matchup certainly favored Cassiopeia. The mid lane was a little more difficult to tell. I'm not really sure exactly who scales better into the late game here.
No. I think that Air scales better. I think having access
Hook onto Denti Taco just pulls him under tower. That's unfortunate. Trusty Karma gonna just net out of there as quick as he can. That hook just barely misses for Svenschap. Oof.
That was the hook you needed to dodge. But
And I think while that was happening, Icically had his flash blown by Shu in the mid lane.
yeah, a lot of pressure being exerted right now in this mid lane.
Yeah, Team Infernal strikes back there, making them pay for taking their Drake.
Yep, that is Nacho Drake. But yeah, as I was saying before, I think that when we get into these later stages of the game, I think that Infernal's going to be really happy with having this Malphite. Syndra and Cassiopeia are just two very immobile carries. If they can keep really good track of the flash timers on them, like, a Malphite can just win the team fight straight up. Like, they don't...
Yeah, I think you're right. The pick potential on Infernal to start some of those mid-late game fights onto the less mobile targets is really, really big.
Yeah, but I mean, if again, like on the flip side, if they don't actually land like that perfect engage and they kind of flub it or what have you, like the amount of sheer damage coming out from Air Drake is going to be insane.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially with that first Infernal Drake under their belt.
Looks like they're on behind.
But Team Air takes the Rifty once again, which is really great. Oh, Cobalt flashes over the wall immediately. Gonna catch his Dunstream off guard there, but he's actually living pretty well. Icically and Shoemaker able to do a bunch of damage in the AoE, but Shu is able to get those auto attacks down onto Shoemaker. So many low members from Infernal. Sable goes down, but Cobalt is just gonna get out with Shu.
Was Cobalt able to get the knockup?
Didn't actually see that.
I didn't
It was hard
see
to
it.
tell
He
'cause of
burned the
miasma.
ult though. Unless he didn't have it from something else, but yeah, I didn't see it. Maybe the miasma stuffed it, but yeah, that was a good cheeky little fight there. Trading.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
I like the aggression though. I like the just like confidence, just flash over that wall and just try and keep.
Speaking
the
of
action
confidence,
going.
Unstream is going to take on this level 12 Shu. I think he does not have his ultimate going. Oh, nice! The Denti Taco knockup gets more onto. Oh, and they're going to Caitlyn ult, but Unstream's going to say that's mine.
Yeah, Shu biting off a little bit more than he could chew, flexing him in the jungle, but yeah, I mean, having that hero's entrance from the Galio was just such a good opportunity to be able to catch out.
Ooh, Svenschap taking the wrong path into mid lane. He is going to get locked up with Dainty Taco securing that kill.
Yep.
And they're going to just follow up this momentum with a Rift Herald in the middle lane. Ezreal ult is going to take out some minions, but there's still a big Shelly here who's going to have an unsatisfying charge onto the first turret.
Yeah, this is a huge gold lead being accrued by Air. It's 17 minutes in the game. The Syndra is paying off, I mean, decently well. But, I mean, this bot lane rotation up to mid, like, they're able to take 2 towers. This is so good.
Yeah, that was great. Really, really good controlling the tempo of the match there by Team Air.
But yeah, Shu getting caught out there just, like, cost them so much pressure on the map. Like, they're able to, like, when you see Shu die like that, you see Infernal just kind of, like, I mean, kind of feels like they crumble just a little bit.
Yeah, when they put so much weight on his shoulders, yeah, when he falls over, they've got nowhere to stand. Oh, speaking of that, Unstream gonna get caught in his own jungle here, flashing out, but Sable's got that ult, he's gonna slap down on him. And now they've got some pressure of their own. I think that Drake is coming up. Let's see the timer. It's coming up soon.
Soon. Okay. Back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Drake's coming up soon. They have the priority for it. This mid lane tower is going to fall shortly. Like, this is about as even as it gets. And they're fishing for some
just
action.
immediately Malphite ults onto Icicly, who is just going to go down there, but so are some members of Infernal.
That's
Trading Cobalt's
ballsy!
life there.
Between two towers. What is this?
Yeah, just no hesitation. They were just like, yeah, I thought they were going to go for Trusty's Karma, who was on the first tier turret. But screw it. They had bolder ambitions and went right for Icicly on the second tier turret.
Oh, man, that is, like, see, this is exactly why the Malphite is good, and they're doing such a good job of, like, playing around it. He's not even down that much in CS. Shoemaker on the Cassiopeia in the side lane isn't really able to provide, like, that huge side lane threat that you're used to seeing in the top lane, maybe like a Nasus or a Mordekaiser that can kind of take towers a little bit faster. So, yeah, I mean, being able to just play around that unstoppable force is such a good tool for this Infernal lineup.
Yeah, and two immobile mages, like you were saying, Syndra and Cassiopeia. Neither one of them has any non-summoner spell ability that is going to get them out of a Malphite ult.
Right, and if you're picking the Cassiopeia to maybe like have like a dominant laning phase, like especially until like an engaged tank like Malphite, you didn't have it. So
Yeah,
what is the plan from here? Like, you're not coming out of lane absurdly far ahead. You're coming out fine, but nothing crazy, nothing to write home about.
And I think that's the trick where the momentum of that top lane pressure is going to shift. I think it started in favor of Air Drake, where they had a really good lane, or at least a winning laner. But now in the mid game, where I think we're going to see it shift over to the Malphite having more pressure, and it's not until we start seeing some like 4 or 5 item builds that Cassiopeia is going to kind of shift again to, I think, being more dominant.
Yeah, notably the Seraphs is fully stacked on the side of Shoemaker, so there is a big power spike coming in. Also finishing the Haunting Guys, getting a little bit of penetration. But yeah, I mean, as you're saying, it feels like the power is definitely in the hands of Infernal Drake in terms of this mid game.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to show it. That mid dive was pretty awesome.
That was a big flex.
And Icicly's got to be careful here. Just knowing how aggressive Infernal can be, you gotta like watch your step. Just being anywhere outside of a
If
turret.
they look at you funny, you might die.
Yeah.
Here we go in the mid lane. Just trying to shove in this tower, doing what they can. I don't think they're going to be able to
this is the first
take
ARAM we've seen this game.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of hanging out.
This is a pretty stacked ARAM. These are some fun ARAM teams to watch.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, these are all Rekt League veterans. I guess short of Trustiest Karma. Welcome to the league, Trustiest Karma. But
Unstream is just making an engage on the Spence champ here. I think that they see that Shu is top and has not teleported yet, which actually turns out to be the right call because Unstream's subjugate is blown, but there's no kill coming out, and Spence champ actually maintains most of his health bar.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shu's just kind of able to do what Shu wants up in this top lane. He's got a ton of CS. He's going to continue soaking up all his soul lane experience. Things are looking pretty good for Infernal right now.
Yeah, I think they're kind of trying to slow things down, and because they know that Shu can probably win against anybody in a solo lane, they're going to try to slow down and let Shu just dominate and get that side pressure so they can pull ahead.
Yep, teleport here mid. They're going to just force this tower down. Shu just shows up. He's here. They wanted it. They took it.
Yep, and Team Air sent a member who did not have teleport to match him, so there really wasn't any way for him to follow. As soon as they saw Icicly middle, as soon as they saw him top, they were like, all right, we'll just go middle.
Yeah, and I love to see these really high vision scores. Sable with 47 already at 22 minutes. Bench Champ with 40.
Oh my.
Like, that is insane. Those are some big nums.
Those are some big numbers. Those are not rookie numbers.
No, those are looking for playoffs, Rekt League playoffs numbers. Take notes, fam. But yeah, so, I mean, you're talking about how, at what point does the position of power kind of pivot back into the hands of Air?
Yeah, it's really hard to say now because it's almost like, I think maybe I'm attributing too much to Cassiopeia, but I really think now Air Drake has lost that early momentum that they could have had off the double mage in the solo lanes, and now they've got to kind of shift into slow down and get to late game. Although, the flip side to that is they don't have anyone who can match Shu, so maybe they just need to be balls to the wall, let's just pick anybody we can while Shu's not there.
All right, Shoemaker has 2 items completed. He is definitely quite strong, but Infernal's just got this like roaming death squad plan of
It's
like
level
let's
14.
get they just like kind of just do like get all the homies in the car, and then they're gonna pop out, gat someone down, bap bap, and then just like roll out.
Yeah, I mean, I think fighting around this Drake might actually benefit Team Air. I think this is the kind of thing that is going to work for them, the 5v5s where they know Shu has to be there. And they've got 2 mages. Oh, Malphite ult comes into just onto Unstream. The Galio ult comes down. Nice big knockup. Trustiest Karma and Icicly just dealing tons of damage from the backline. All of the mages and carries on Team Air Drake were untouched by that assault from Infernal.
That was insane. The amount of damage Shoemaker did in that fight was tremendous. That was huge. Oh, but Sable's here trying to sniff out maybe an opportunity to steal this, but I think he's just going to try and back
Yeah, I don't think he's too low.
But man, what a good team fight. Even off the back of Infernal being proactive. Like, you think when the Malphite ult goes off, if they can hit the right targets, it's a good fight. It did not hit the good target.
It did not hit the right target.
It hit Trundle. And you know what? That was not enough. That was very clearly not enough. Hopefully Infernal takes a little bit of a note there, realizing that they really need to make sure that they're hitting their mark. But that was huge. That is what this Air Drake team can do and will continue to do as we get
and
into
actually,
this
that fight to me highlighted why they picked this Galio. That ability to just disengage and then have your mages just rain hell on the other team while that Galio ult just knocks everyone up is awesome. And I mean, the Galio ult disengaged the other team, and it actually kept Unstream alive with the damage protection.
And also, yeah, and well, it doesn't even have damage reduction anymore.
Oh, it doesn't have the damage reduction
But what
anymore.
it does have, which they recently had it added, which is actually, and I forgot to touch on this before, it's a magic shield for everyone that's within the hero's entrance radius, which is so good against the Malphite and Shu. Like, that's just like absurd. So it's a really smart draft by Air, kind of unbeknownst to us originally.
Yeah, wow, that fight really couldn't have gone any better for Team Air. That's exactly what they're hoping. Let's see how Infernal adapts if they go back to maybe splitting with Shu, and maybe Infernal just has to kind of give up these big team fight objectives. Oh, Shoemaker's. I don't think he realizes how many of them are there. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, no, he's playing with fire though.
Sable just smites that away.
Yep.
For 40 health, I think.
Perks of being a jungler.
Oh man, Air Drake's looking for it.
They
They're
want
thirsty.
something.
Oh, nice taunt. Oh, just actually forces the flash away, but Shu hits a huge ult onto 4 of Team Air, and a bunch of people are going down now. Shoemaker's still doing a bunch of damage in the backline. He's actually pretty healthy. Big taunt comes out from Downty Taco, just lines them up. But Shoemaker, oh man,
doesn't have the damage, but what a team fight. Shu and Cobalt teaming up for the sickest of engages.
Yep.
That was insane. What a good team fight. And just like that, this is a game of hot potato with the lead.
Oh,
like, it's like
Unstream.
you take the lead, you take the lead. I mean, the gold lead's still, Unstream in trouble.
That's Nacho Jungle.
I mean, just like that, this might be enough to swing the gold lead. If they can pick up that kill shutdown, going on to Rovian. And this gold lead is about 1k. A little less than 1k.
Yeah, and we talked about that last fight didn't work out for Infernal because they didn't pick the right target. This time they definitely picked the right target.
Yep, they nailed the target. Shoemaker still doing a ton of damage in these fights. It just feels like Icicly isn't quite having the same impact we're used to seeing on him, either getting picked off early or just getting very zoned out in these fights. So
yeah, and that's the danger of playing that immobile mage, kind of like Syndra, which certainly doesn't line up with some of the the Yasuos or the Akalis we've seen him play. It's kind of a different play style.
Absolutely. But man, I have to say, Danny Taco is looking so good on this Galio.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
Yeah, he's playing very aggressively, burning flashes. There's definitely this is a new champion for him as well, so really props to him.
Yeah, I mean, there was a second there in that fight where he actually hit a taunt on, I think, all the remaining members of Infernal while Shoemaker was alive, and it almost looked like that was a chance for Air Drake to turn the tides of the battle, but it was just, they were kind of too close already.
Yeah.
But overall, I've really liked the ults and the taunts just defensively coming out from Dainty Taco.
Yeah, they've been looking really good. But Baron is on the side of Infernal, the buff going down. And this is scary. When you're playing against Infernal, you do not want them to get Baron because they play so well around these side lanes. Being able to create all this pressure. Like, I don't know. It's just it's always a tough prospect.
And Icicle gets chipped out a little bit there while trying to defend the turret. It's just so hard with those Baron minions. Just gonna take that last outer turret there.
Also, someone in chat, go clip that last team fight. That was sick.
Yeah, please do. There was honestly a lot going on. I couldn't follow it completely. I want to watch that again.
Yeah, that was some sweet stuff.
Oh, and Infernal will... Oh, a disconnect comes out. I hope we're going to see the pause.
I hope we're going to see the pause. Yeah, as Rovian's starting to slowly walk into Team
Oh,
Air.
no.
He better reconnect quickly and figure out where he's at.
Yeah, luckily he is Ezreal. He could just pop on over that wall, but it does kind of put Infernal in an awkward situation here where I don't know if they realized he disconnected before pausing because Cobalt was kind of also just standing there with him.
Maybe Air will prevent any BM. Maybe they will BM. Tune in a few seconds
This
to
is an
find out.
intense match.
I know,
It's
this
kinda...
is an intense pause.
I mean, there's kind of two different ways, right? One philosophy says you don't BM because you want people to know that if you beat them, like you don't want any excuses to be available, right?
Right.
However, the other school of thought says it's, you know what? Anything that's happening in my client, that's fair game. If he's going to be in our way, then we're going to take him down.
Sure. Like, fair. However, we advise on the side of being on a good match with no DCs. So, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, this gives us a few seconds to kind of talk a little bit more about the game state, look at some of the items, the gold leads, where it's at. Like, you have to always look at Shu and like the amount of XP that he just soaks up on the map. He's very, very good at just maximizing the amount of time he's getting solo experience, and it shows being the highest level in the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, consistently, Shu is the highest level character in the game, not just because of... I mean, he doesn't always have the highest amount of kills. You look at Sable, who's got 4, 1, and 4, far more kills. Even his AD carry down Rovian's got more kills, but Shu is just really effective at playing the map in this larger meta sense and getting experience. It's really impressive, actually.
Yeah, he's almost level 16. He's like...
Yeah.
He's like 85% of the way there. Like that is just like creating an advantage on your own, just through smart map movements.
And it's an advantage I think a lot of people don't think about too much. You just see someone's like kills and you look at their items, you're like, all right, that's how strong he is. But you have to remember, like, if someone's even just 2 levels higher than you, that's terrifying.
Yeah, definitely very terrifying. I mean, other things to note, like taking a look at maybe like this jungle matchup, how do you feel like this has kind of played out so far, and like how did this early game pan out compared to what you were expecting?
I think I was definitely surprised not to see Sable put as much pressure in the top lane, although I think it actually worked out really well for them. Cobalt, despite being down in farm, I think he pretty much did what he needed to do. I don't think they really needed to give him, almost like bait him into an advantage where maybe he thinks he can start trying to kill Shoemaker. They pretty much just let it sit, which isn't what I expected, but I think that was the right call. And so Sable's kind of just been around trying to match Unstream and fiddle with their plans there most of the time, it looks like, in this game so far.
Yeah, and if like the scoreline of 0-2-5 on Shoemaker doesn't feel like it really tells the whole story. I think Unstream has been doing his fair share of last hitting, because the amount of damage this guy is putting out in these fights when they aren't going just super Infernal favored and getting picked out first, like he is doing work. He is doing the Lord's work out there and trying his hardest to carry, but it just kind of feels like all these fights hinge on these engages from Infernal. If they land like successfully, then it feels like a win for Infernal. If not, it goes the other way.
Yeah, and I think about picking the right targets, a lot of it's going to come down to, this is again where we're going to test not the individual members of Air and Infernal, we're going to test how they are as a team, which means it's going to be about how well they can control the map and how well they can get vision in the right places. Because that's how you're going to prevent your Syndra and your Cassiopeia from getting engaged upon, and that's how you're going to make the right catches as Infernal, is just having better control of the map and knowing where the opponent is. Because I think that first fight, they kind of just, they felt like they needed to pull the trigger. They saw Trundle and said, all right, well, maybe they're not there. Maybe they're a little too far behind. They didn't know, and so they pulled the trigger, and it didn't work out. Whereas the second time, they have more of an idea of where Air Drake is. They know, okay, we have a big ult here. Let's get it.
Yep, absolutely. And just for those of you tuning in, pretty lengthy pause. It seems Rovian is having a little bit of issues. I see some things in the chat. He doesn't have data on his phone, so he can't update us, which is rough news, but I'm sure he'll be back shortly. We would hate to see this kind of hype match result in any kind of negative stuff, so we'll kind of ride this one out.
Yeah, that would be a travesty.
Yep. That being said, shameless plug, like, follow, subscribe. If you want that video played in the beginning, that was due to the Patreon. They gave us the JMU subscription, which gets you a custom hype video. Ooh. And some Rekt stickers and Rekt banners, all sorts of good stuff. So if you're
that was some like high quality production.
That was hours of
value
work.
in that video.
I
was
if it's $25 for the video, and I probably spent more than 5 hours on it, so that's like less than $5 an hour worth of labor.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's great labor.
It's practically free. Everyone should just get videos.
That is like the Asian cost of labor. That you could.
You've got Brian the Broken working in a Chinese sweatshop to make this video.
That's hot. It's some hot stuff. It's hot out today. I've honestly felt like a little bit of a sweatshop. But yeah, so if you feel like supporting the league in a way that is not subscribing on Twitch, there you go. But back to the match at hand. Got some other stuff going on. Tell us a story. So I've shit my pants twice as an adult.
That's a good story.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still game one. We're in the middle of a pause, going out to Ganem. The first time I shit my pants, I deemed to bad karma. So this is my go-to story when I'm trying to meet people. So obviously I'm happy to tell it on stream. I studied abroad in Nepal, and we were camping in the mountains, having a grand old time up in this very rustic village, no electricity. It was pretty sweet, like up in the mountains, a monastery at the top of the hill, pretty picturesque. And we had some kind of class meeting or discussion down in the little village area, and it was dark. And when it's dark, there's no electricity. That's it. So all right, everyone go home. I was talking with one of my friends who I was spending time with. He was like my housemate at this homestay, and he was like, "Oh man, I've got the shits. I gotta go." And so me and the program director started poking at his stomach. We're like, "Let's see if we can make him shit himself." And he's like, "Fuck you guys!"
As one does.
And he sprints off into the night, down up the mountain, staying with me at the top of the monastery. He goes off. Very shortly after that, I kind of feel that impending feel of oh my god, I gotta go right now. I gotta go. Bad karma's on its way. I make my way through the dark, kind of bumping into a lot of stuff, and I get to this crossroads, and I feel like I have a fart. I'm like, I gotta release some pressure right now. I shit myself big time. Shit everywhere in the dark. So I kind of walk it. I keep hoofing it, walking it back up. I go to the little outhouse, but it's locked because my roommate's in there. And I'm like, "Please, can you let me?" He's like, "Fuck you. No, fuck you." So I kind of just stand out there trying to not make a lot of attention because I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the Tibetan host family who are really sweet because I smell like shit. I've got shit in my pants. I don't want them to know. They see me, and they see me out there and "Oh, come in." I'm like, no. And then they're like, I'm like, all right, okay.
Oh, no.
And they kind of just drag me in, and it's dinner time. So they I have shit in my pants. I'm like, no, please, no, I'm good. I need to go into my room. And they're like, no, force me in. And with all that shit in my pants, I have to go sit next to this old grandmother, and eat some dinner. And I'm just wallowing in it. And I didn't know how to say no, and I didn't want to be rude, so I rudely sat next to an old lady with shit in my pants. And then when my roommate came back, he popped his head in through the door. I gave him the saddest look of all time, and that's how I knew that karmic justice does indeed exist.
sad look of a man who has shit his pants recently.
Yes.
Nothing sadder.
Nope. So that is my story time.
It's a good story as we looks like members of Team Infernal and Air are taking this as an opportunity to shit in other places than their pants.
Yeah.
We wait for this pause to figure itself out.
Yeah. Do you have any stories for us?
I was trying to think of any that don't involve drugs I shouldn't talk about. So I'll have to let you know when I think
you could
of
give us a remember that time I didn't take drugs?
Well, one time my friends and I went to Lake Tahoe and we stayed at a it doesn't involve shitting your pants, yeah. We stayed at a really cool resort, like an Airbnb up there. We went snowboarding. I haven't been snowboarding in like 10 years. I didn't actually know, or like more than 10 years, like 15 years or something. It'd be crazy long amount of time since I've gone snowboarding or skiing, and I didn't remember which one I was good at, or which one I was capable of doing, I should say. And so there was a lot of debate about which one to do. Ended up picking snowboard. I'm glad I did. I think you're a snowboarder, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Good
it's a lot of fun getting onto the powder, I believe is what they say.
The pow? Shred the gnar?
Yeah. Yeah, exact. I think I said that actually as I went
yeah.
down my first time. I'd never heard it before. I just like kind of came out.
You felt it? The mountain,
Yeah, exactly.
The mountain just channeled it?
Yeah. But later that night, under substances. Oh wait, am I saved? Did someone come back? Oh no, okay. One of our friends, he decided that he was kind of got himself into the mental state where he thought he was the Mushroom Man, and he went around telling everyone he was the Mushroom Man, and then he thought that other people were actually also the Mushroom Man who had given him things, and he was going around and he would just come up to people, put his hands on their shoulder, and just be like, "I'm the Mushroom Man." That was a good time.
So was he like the leader of the Mushroom Men, and you were just like other Mushroom minions, or like were you equal Mushroom?
Well,
Men?
so I think it started out as he actually thought I was the Mushroom Man at first, for reasons, and then later, as the night kind of went on, he started to have the revelation that actually he might be the Mushroom Man. And then he started, and because of this newfound realization, he was like, "Oh my God, I have this amazing responsibility. I'm the Mushroom Man."
I mean, granted, mushrooms are dope, but yeah, I mean, if you live long enough to find yourself being the Mushroom Man, like that's a hell of a responsibility.
Yeah, what a legendary guy.
Yep, Pluto is a planet, Gano. Absolutely. If I learned it in elementary school, then it has to be real.
I think we see some readies. Oh, some readies coming out. Oh
All
my
right.
God. Rovian, it does immediately phase shift over that wall, so gonna avoid most of the immediate violence.
All right, we're back. We told 2 stories, and that was enough. I think shout outs to the Mushroom Man. Maybe we'll get a Mushroom Man emote.
I hope he never hears this or sees this.
Alright. So,
Alright, well,
how do we get back into this?
Infernal is posturing around the Drake. Both teams are now, with some Caitlyn traps kind of laid out. I think both teams are kind of discombobulated a bit after that 10-minute break. So they're both kind of dancing around, getting some damage onto the dragon, but it's going to reset, catch onto Unstream, but he's a tanky boy. He goes to full health. Big knockup from Cobalt onto the backline. Icically just Zonias immediately, but Shoemaker is doing tons of damage. Shu gets onto Shoemaker, but the Zonias goes down, and now Shu is all alone in the backline of Team Air Drake. He's not going to be able to take anyone down.
What an engage!
Oh
That
my
was
God.
Huge! Oh my God! What an insane team fight by Air. And you know what? You know how close this game is. After that insane fight, it's still like a 1K gold difference.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that looked really bad. I thought that Team Infernal was going to slam that fight just because they got the Malphite onto some good targets, but I think importantly they did not hit Shoemaker, who again, he's just like dishing out the damage in these fights when he remains untouched. I think Shu didn't get to him until the fight was basically already over.
Oh man, yeah, that was insane. It just goes to show you like how much damage this Cassiopeia can do. It is an immense amount. Let it be known.
Yeah, I want to see the stats after this game.
Yeah, and you are getting to a point now, looking at this jungle matchup, like we saw the engage go on to Unstream. Unstream is a beefy boy. He's got the Cinder Hulk, he's got 2 tank items, and then he has the Subjugate, and he's got some good tanky targets. He can either target the Malphite, Sable, or Spence Champ, all of which give him a plethora of tank stats. So he is not the one you want to make a pick on and try and all in, because it is not.
And I
gonna
actually
go
really
your way.
love that Unstream is like, he's playing this tank role really well. Like the way he's positioning, he's almost like he's not going so far that Infernal can like commit without Air Drake being able to back him up. But he is kind of just dancing in that front line and kind of tempting Infernal to maybe say, okay, wait, maybe we can make a pick here. But that is just playing right into Air Drake's hands because they have so many of these powerful mages in the back line.
Right, and we didn't talk too much about it, but this is going to be Mountain Soul. Stacking Mountain Dragons actually doesn't amount to very much on the side of Air Drake. However, it means a ton. It means a ton for Infernal, and the fact that they're not getting these is pretty bad, honestly.
You're saying that the Mountain doesn't do as much for Air?
Yeah, because you need to actually have resistances, right? And if you have this triple threat team, like you don't have resistances in mid lane, top lane, or AD carry, and like your jungler has like some. It's a lot of it is just raw health stats.
Yeah, true. I guess he just tanks with health a lot. You're right.
Yeah, so like versus like Infernal, you've got like two, 3 tanks at least.
Yeah, Malphite would benefit a lot as well. Yeah, I mean it's mostly like for Dainty Taco, honestly.
Right. But they're taking him away, and like once you get that Mountain Soul, which gives you that big shield, like that is the spice of life. That's what you want. You don't need any resistance. It's a shield. It's great, and it regenerates.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. So the Mountain gives 6% base armor, or just total armor and magic resist. So it's not even bonus. So it does. Yeah, it'll benefit everybody in some regard. But
sure.
it's still obviously more if you're building armor and magic resist.
You can call me out when I'm wrong. We're all about accuracy here on the Rekt League. Shitting your pants stories and accuracy.
Mushrooms.
And mushroom.
Brian, I think I thought of that story because that guy reminds me of you.
Oh, good.
Not for any mushroom-related reasons, actually.
Shockingly to everybody.
Yeah.
That being said, we are here dancing around the purple worm. And no, this is not a mushroom-related incident. This is League of Legends.
Yeah, looks like Air Drake has got control of the Baron Pit. Although I think they're just trying to bait. Maybe they don't see Unstream, who kind of springs a trap. He's in the front line. He's just dancing around, but Shoemaker is not in the fight yet. The front line kind of just dancing around back there. Sable is actually stuck with Shoemaker in the back line. He is going to get taken down by Trusty's Karma and Shoemaker. Meanwhile, Shu gets onto a Sickly, but he has to zonies to keep himself alive. And no members of Air Drake have died at this point. Dainty Taco is looking for the taunt, but Rovian's just barely able to phase shift out of there. Oh, really aggressive ult from Trusty's Karma there, trying to kind of frontline Caitlyn. Oh, that did not work out for him. But
no, really good job by Rovian there. Yeah. Rovian's trying to do his
flash
best.
Ult from Cobalt gets 2 members down. Shoemaker is out of position. Oh, and they turn that around.
This is insane. This is better than LCS. You cannot tell me this is not better than LCS. This is ridiculous.
Oh, really good catch by Cobalt there. And Shoemaker, like, there were 2 people to his left. He was looking aggressive, looking forward. And then as he looks to his left again, everyone's just dead. And he's just hanging out there alone.
Oh my god. What amazingly played out team fight by Infernal. They're able to actually disengage. They lost 1 member, but they're able to disengage 4v5, having a lot of big ultimates blown on the side of Air. And they able to kite it out and just wait for them and capitalize on the mistakes. It looked so good.
Yeah, that was really, really well played by both teams, pretty much throughout the whole thing.
Man, insano. Absolutely insano.
Yeah. This is the top-notch Rekt League playoff-ready content we were hoping for and expecting, and neither team has failed to deliver.
This is the marquee match of the night.
Yeah.
Not only was I the...
This is just game 1.
This is game 1. It's already...
There's another happening.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay. Air Drake They definitely still have the vision priority here. What are the odds that we see Air Drake over the classic Air Drake?
They have so, I mean, with Shoemaker, who is actually just getting there a little bit late, they can burn this thing down so fast. Shu has actually got the flank, who everybody is going to turn on to Shu there on stream, is just holding off the rest of the team. But Shu is at full health in their team for so long and actually takes down Trusty's Karma on his own. I don't even know how that just happened.
Shu is a god!
But Shoemaker is running for his life here. He's got no chance of really getting out. He's going to flash, though. I don't know why exactly, but...
He's, oh my god. What an insane
I didn't really
flank.
catch even what happened there. I just kind of was like, okay, Shu's 1v4, so I guess they'll kill him and we'll see what happens. But I looked away for a second, and Trusty's Karma was just dead.
Yeah, no, Shu was able to get in there, dodge, I mean, he took some damage, but able to dodge out on a lot of it, get down his ultimate, and then Zonia's had a perfect time to just buy time for the rest of his team to kind of come in and just bail him out of any trouble. Like, that was insane.
Oh my.
And just like that, after a great team fight by Air, Infernal just dishes it right back. Like, it's just
the
back
game
and
is
forth.
so close that either team can win any of these fights that are happening.
Give me more of these games. Give me a best of 5. This better happen in playoffs.
I want Magikarp tournament.
Yeah. Give me all that good stuff. I want to be the Mushroom Man.
Or Magikarp Festival. That's it.
Yeah, Magikarp Festival. What'd you just call it?
I called it Magikarp tournament because it's from Pokken tournament.
Yeah, from Pokken tournament. Sick game. But yeah, I mean, again, these team fights, like, nobody has really the upper hand, it feels like. Until someone gets, like, another dragon. Like, Mountain Soul is on the line. No more dragons can be stacked after this. All you can get is, what's it called? Really old dragon. Elder dragon, if you will.
The eldest dragon.
The eldest of dragons. Sage-like in his ways. He zaps people. But yeah, like, Baron taken by Infernal. Mountain Dragon Soul on the table as well. Coming up, not anytime super soon. But, like, it still just goes to show you, like, this game is just all about execution. Like, this gold lead doesn't really mean anything. And
yeah, I mean,
Infernal's
Air Drake is
so well.
absolutely not out of this just because they're down. I mean, 4K gold. 4K gold this late in the game is not a total game changer.
No, great damage
It's really
on the
anyone's
Radiant.
game. But the Baron is definitely going to be giving Infernal a lot of pressure here to be taking down the first base tower of the game. Oh, but Icicly's going to pull in the cannon. Nice move.
Yep, slick stuff. Syndra doing Syndra things.
Yeah. This is a little scary though, because I think these, like, Infernal is in a really good position to just, if they can get that pick onto somebody, they make a tower dive. I think they could totally pull it off and do a lot of damage. Again, onto the right target.
This is so close right now.
Yeah, they're chipping away though. I mean, Air Drake, on one hand, I mean, that tower is going down, but so it's really just up to Air Drake to kind of make it go down as slowly as possible, because they really don't want to fight into these Baron minions.
No. This is just like, everyone is just like so stressed right now. Cobalt is just like fishing. He's just threatening with his position, just his body.
Yeah, with the turret down, I don't think they're going to contest that inhibitor at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be pushing more. But
And notably, Shoemaker does not have flash, which means he is a very easy target.
yeah, he does have. He's got Zonias, he's got Seraph, so he's got some survivability. But without flash, yeah, I think I agree. If he gets hit by Malphite, it's really game over. Oh, this is cheeky. They're setting up to catch Air Drake as they rotate down to the dragon, but Air Drake is going to be taking the kind of safe route down mid lane here as a group.
What is
Which
this?
kind of.
This is so
gives
big
up-
brain.
Yeah, Infernal's giving up their position, and now it's kind of just going to be a regular old dragon fight.
This is so smart.
Oh man, but Infernal's just running in. They get the ult onto both of the mages, who both immediately Zonias, leaving Trusty's Karma to be the only one doing damage. He's getting big damage onto Rovian, but he actually has Guardian Angel, so he's still alive. Shoemaker pops the Guardian Angel onto Sable. So many Guardian Angels here. Shoemaker getting chased down by Cobalt, but he has a Dainty Taco to protect him. Shoemaker is still alive here. He has got his Guardian Protector, Dainty Taco, to keep him alive. And Unstream is actually still there, just chasing down Suspense Champ. Shoemaker is all the damage they need to make these happen. He's got his bodyguards, he's ready.
Oh man, Shu has teleport. He just backed. He's coming back into this fight.
Oh yeah, and the hook lands onto Shoemaker. That could be huge. He's getting so low, but the taunt actually lands onto him, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Shu's teleport just catches Air Drake by surprise, I think. Or maybe they just weren't coordinated enough to everyone move out at the same time.
And that being said, there's minions in the base. Infernal bought enough time. These super minions are flooding in. That is going to be one tower here. What? This game is insanity. Get everybody in here. Like, what? If you're not watching, if you know someone's not watching, get them to watch this. This is absurd.
I want to max out our viewer count right now.
Holy cow. This is
Unstream is kind of dancing around. He knows he's kind of safe, but with that,
that
big
is gonna
boy,
be Soul.
Eldest Dragon Soul.
Yep, the Mountain Soul is there. However, Elder Dragon is going to be coming up next. This is a 41-minute game with like a 20-minute pause.
Yeah.
We're here for it, fam. Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm stressed out just thinking about Shu with a Mountain Drake Soul. How invincible he's going to be in that back line.
Oh yeah, he's a large lad. Also, I don't know if Cobalt's gonna fall with 3 Mountain Dragons stacked up at this point. He's got, oh my god, yeah, he's already got like 550 armor.
Yeah, he has 550 armor, 288 magic resist. That is, oh man, but screw what I'm talking about, because some people are maybe getting caught. Trusty's Karma. Oh, Shu gets over the wall into Trusty's Karma, but oh no, Trusty's Karma actually hits the Blast Plant, but he's on the wrong side of it. That would have been awesome if him and Shu were switched, but it goes the wrong way.
Yep, and with that, they're able to get priority onto Baron. Oh
and just to finish that, Malphite has 85% reduced physical damage taken and 78% reduced magical damage. That's crazy.
And Shu is just spreading. He's just zoning so hard right now. Shoemaker's here, but he's just so afraid to step up.
Yeah, Unstream actually feels pressured to ult there just to survive against Shu.
I mean, I think they know that this Baron isn't them. Ult now, survive, and just fight another day. That cooldown's going to be up hopefully by the time you're trying to tussle again. Although Infernal is looking to just take it to him right now.
Yeah, I mean Infernal, they know how to push an advantage, and right now they finally, after 40 minutes, Infernal has a pretty decisive advantage over Team Air Drake.
This is probably the biggest gold lead we've seen so far. 6K.
Yeah. And they've got to make a miracle happen here to make a pick. Shu is going to get that big ol' onto Icicly, but he actually doesn't drop. Shoemaker is kind of actually on the wrong side of things. Dante Taco just running for his life. Shoemaker flashes over the wall on top of Shu, calling for the Galio ult, but he is not able to stay alive long enough, unfortunately. Trusty's Karma is the only one who lives for Team Air, and if Infernal plays the cards right, that could be the game.
That looks like the game. Almost a clean ace. Trusty's Karma has yet to fall. But man, what a game. 44 minutes and did not disappoint. Absolutely did not disappoint. These teams are sick. Nexus is falling. Game 1 of this beautiful banger.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Over to Infernal. There's a lot to unpack there. But I think we're just going to throw it to a break because that was just a lot.
Yeah,
but
I need a break.
I need a break. I need some water. I'm out of gin and I'm out of water. I'm out of tea. But that was a series, or not even a series. That was a game. We still have one more in this series. So with that, we're gonna throw it over to a quick break. Don't go away. All right. And we are back. Gulen's not, but we're back.
I'm here.
He's here.
All right.
Holy cow. Okay, so that was a banger. That was, I think, probably one of the best games of League of Legends that the Rekt League's seen in a while. That was just like insanely well played from both teams. Both teams really identifying their win conditions, how they needed to play each fight, where their power points were, how they needed to play the map. Like overall, it was just a very strong showing from both teams. But Infernal taking game one of this. Just talk to us a little bit about your thoughts and like what you're expecting in game two.
Oh man, well it certainly was an absolutely crazy game, which is awesome. I almost like it doesn't feel like either team made any like horrific mistakes that would make them go, oh man, we can't do that again next game. Like it was just so close the whole time that I wouldn't blame Air if they came away thinking like, well, we could kind of just try something like that again and it might work.
Yeah.
It's just so execution based, like you said in the game.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Icically definitely not having the game that we kind of like know and love from the guy. I mean, taking a quick look at his stats. I mean, Shu versus Icically, of course, is going to be a hell of a matchup. But this one definitely felt much more Shu favored than I was expecting. Since Icically usually makes up about 28% of his team's damage versus, I guess, Shu's 35, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But he was, I think, like 3-8, maybe 3-9 in that game. Like he was just that Malphite just had his number. I don't know if like the immobile mage was the look that they needed.
Yeah, and I mean like I'm sure Icically would feel more comfortable on something like Yasuo or Akali. Like you could still do that with the comp they ran, but I believe both of those were banned. So Infernal is definitely playing against that. They're kind of forcing Icically to maybe start thinking about some of those mages like Syndra.
Yeah, so we'll see. Right now we're just getting everyone in the lobby, getting the readies going, and we'll be live with game two. It's so hard to say. That game was so insanely close and very well played. Like, there's not much to say in terms of like what you want to see in game two. I just want to see that again. I just want to see that. Like, I could just watch that exact same game again, and I'd be so happy.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just see that madness, the awesome back and forth team fights. Hope we get that in game two.
Absolutely, and with that, we are getting into Champ Select right now. Game two is underway. Let's see what they pick. That being said, Jamu brings up a really good point in chat. What about the Ryze? We did not see Ryze banned, and we didn't see Ryze picked. I mean, I guess like if you're not playing, I mean, Ryze and Cassiopeia on the same team might have just been a little bit extra. They're trying to hope to make, instead of having two scaling picks, maybe trying to prioritize the lane advantage that Syndra can get early and allow Shoemaker to scale. That's what I would imagine. I guess opting for their big boy flex to be that cast, but maybe we might see it here in this game too.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Senna ban coming. Was that banned last time?
That was banned last time. It looks like it honestly looks like they're probably just running it back.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have to see. By both teams probably again. They probably both feel pretty good about that game. We're gonna see where, if anywhere, people make adaptations to the Champions Select at least.
I mean, it honestly might not even be adaptations to Champion Select. It'll just be adaptations in game, because it definitely felt like both teams knew how to pilot their comps, knew when to engage, when to start fights. That wasn't the issue. It just kind of felt like maybe tussling over some of the early objectives. Obviously, like the Drake count was even up into like it's just so close. It's hard to say. Same bands coming out. The salty run back. We're gonna see what comes out here. I doubt we're gonna see the
probably not
Cassiopeia. Shout out to Shoemaker, throwing me the Bard, giving me a Bard boner right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a sweet flex. But yep, gonna pick up that Caitlyn.
Same first pick.
It's too bad it's not Bard though. Should be Bard.
Let's see how Infernal responds. Oh, I think maybe they're just hovering now. They're not.
They're gonna pick up the Cassiopeia. Oh my god, I love it.
Oh, that's like some nice flexing right there.
Yeah, that was Infernal, you got class. Infernal is a team of culture. That is a big flex.
They're pretty much saying like, yeah, that was actually pretty good. We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that. Or let me. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, that's it's the even more flexing way to read into it.
The Galio also being picked up again. I thought the Galio was awesome. I think that Taco did a really good job on that. Happy to see that being picked up. And there it is. There's the purple.
Oh,
the
what
purple
about
Smurf.
the Rise indeed?
There he is. The 400 IQ Jmu calling it. So yeah, this can easily be flexed to wherever the Cassiopeia is going to go. Rise into Cassiopeia. I believe it's actually pretty Rise favored.
Yeah,
Or
I think
maybe
that favors Rise.
Yeah, I think
haven't
that favors Rise.
I don't play either of the champions much, but I think that is what the numbers would say.
Yep. All right. So here's the Nasus that
okay.
we saw being, I guess, almost baited by Air, being picked up now.
Yeah, and the trick here is that Air Drake's plan for dealing with Nasus was to pick Cassiopeia. But Infernal fucking galaxy brained their way into taking both now.
I don't know. I mean, Air has always been praised as like the big brain drafters.
Yeah.
I mean, Ocean and Infernal right now are definitely vying for the title this season with some just like galaxy brain drafts, as he said. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious who they send, who they give Shoemaker to match the Nasus, because it's just so, man, having a Nasus split push the whole game is so annoying.
It's so annoying. And the thing is, like, there's no jungle attention that goes topside for Infernal. So Nasus kind of, or just in general usually.
Yeah, just
right?
in general even.
Yeah, so like no one gives them any love because on the team against Infernal, you have to focus Shu. You have to focus Rovian, or else they're just going to scale and become like the very consistent backlines that you need to deal with.
They left the Yasuo up for Icicly.
No,
they're
not going to pick Lee Sin. There's no way. No way they'd pick Lee Sin. They're just, man, they're playing with my heart. But anyways, as I'm saying, like you have against Infernal, you have to like deal with mid lane and bot lane. You have to try and camp those, which kind of leaves Cobalt as this factor where he can just kind of like do what he wants and just kind of like hang out. And who better to hang out with than on Nasus, because you're just going to become this unkillable threat yourself. Like you'll just split push all game until you're actually the strongest one on your team. Not even Shu, not even Rovian.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to do what Malphite did last game, which is just hang out and get strong.
Yep. And here we go, seeing Sable picking up his set. I think undefeated on that. Granted, Infernal has not lost a lot of games, but I know this is one of the champions he loves to play. So really excited to see this. Rise versus Cassio. Oh no, it's not even Rise. It's Rise. Yeah. Rise versus Nasus and Yasuo versus Cassiopeia. Like,
I don't think they were gonna. I don't think Shoemaker was feeling confident taking the Yasuo from Icicly.
Absolutely not. Like, yeah, this is.
But that being said, this seems like a really bad matchup for Yasuo. Maybe I'm crazy. Not being able to dash, being a melee champion, it doesn't seem great.
So someone will have to fact check me on this, but I feel like Miasma is actually a projectile.
And it can be win-walled.
Yep, that can be win-walled.
Wow.
So it's kind of up to Icicly.
There's so much outplay potential from both characters, from both players.
Like, oh man, this is like a great redemption story if Icicly can pull this off after kind of having a really rough first game to come back on the Yasuo in this very like skill-intensive matchup. Like, this is sick.
He's ready to bring it. He's not backing down. He's not letting Shu get in his head. He's just saying like, all right, buddy, let's go. Who's the best mid laner?
I mean, these are two ex-Rekt League champions going at it. Like, what more could you ask for? And this is week 5. This is so good. There's so many other like hype matches coming up. Like, this is just the start of it. This is just the start. Like, granted, it's always good to watch like the team, like the what you think are going to be the good teams play like week 1 through 4, or like just early on. But like, wait until like week 5 when teams have kind of gotten some games under their belt, figured it out, decided on how they want to play the game, is when you get to see like games like this, which are really exciting.
Yeah, I have no reason to think that this game is not going to be equally as exciting, if not more than last, based on these champion picks. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be insane. So let's just take a quick look and highlight the two support players. We can't really highlight the 80 carries because Trusty's Karma hasn't played any games. But taking a look at Danny Taco versus Spence Champ's stats, like Danny Taco has not much damage. He's got 5%, boys, but it's a big 5%.
Yeah, the biggest 5% you ever seen.
It's the hugest 5%, but he's there with the team.
Yep.
He's a part of the plays. He's a very high vision score. I think that vision score is definitely a hard stat to quantify on Infernal because their games do go so long, so they always have super jacked vision scores. That being said, like these guys both are just playing so well. Danny Taco switching from jungle to support. Spence Champ playing, switching from top to support, and they're both having incredible seasons, I think, so far. So really cool to see that kind of highlighted in this game.
Yeah, should be awesome. And I mean, we saw Dante Taco bring it last game, so there's no reason to think he won't do it. He's on the same champion even. He's already got the warm up in.
Yeah, they're both very sweaty for sure. I think at this point, I know I'd be at a 44-minute game, especially Spence Champ. If you're in a 44-minute game with Shu, like Air Drake's comms are usually pretty reasonable, pretty chill. Shu on a team is he's yelling up a storm. So you're getting very hot and sweaty in a game like that.
Yeah, you don't play with Shu without getting a little sweaty.
No, yeah, sweaty shoes are the only shoes I know.
And maybe Shu's gonna make them in the top lane.
Yeah, maybe. I always think it's so silly how we have a shoemaker and Shu.
Yeah, it's a very odd thing to name oneself, and we have two people who kind of just were like, "Yeah, this seems like a funny idea."
It's probably a good origin story right there. The origin of Shu is the shoemaker. Which came first, the shoe or the shoemaker? Chicken or the egg? Man, what a banger! I just want to get into it. We've done a lot. We've done a lot of filling. I could keep on providing fluff for the fans, but I just want to play. I want to watch some more League of Legends. Honestly, I just want to play some League of Legends too. This got me hyped.
Yeah, Sandbox is already getting a little worried that you're gonna bring up some pants stories again, so I think they're ready to get into the game as well.
Not a fan? That's all right. Not everyone has to be. Oh yeah, the other. Well, maybe if there's another pause, we'll get another story.
Yep. See if someone disconnects.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's time for game 2. Let's go.
It's time for game 2.
Oh baby, and there's the pause. No.
Oh man. They knew that they really wanted to hear the story. Oh no.
All right. Well, that's pretty troll.
All right.
All right, they're
wait. I
sending
think
it.
they're saying they're ready.
Yep, they're sending it.
All right. No stories. No
No
story
story.
time.
Story time
It's
will
game
have to
time.
wait till next time. Hopefully, we've got League of Legends time right now. Please. Give me some League of Legends.
Yeah, wait. I see ours on both teams. All right, there we go.
All right.
Unpause. It's coming.
It's coming. All right, here we are. Summoner's Rift. Land of the free. Home of the proud. Got some skins. Got some.
Cool Cassiopeia skin.
Is that the Rise skin you can only get from winning tournaments? Or like,
Which one is that?
it's like Triumphant Rise or whatever.
Oh. Oh man, Dainty Taco walks into a Spence Champ, which has no hesitation, flashes in. Dainty Taco actually flashes into the Dragon Pit. Oh, which was so big brain, and he's actually gonna live.
Wow.
Oh my. Wow. Nice
And-
heads up play.
Yeah, and that was 2 flashes for the price of 1. 2 flashes and an ignite for the price of 1 flash.
Yeah, actually, Dainty Taco literally just made them come out of that on top.
That was insane.
They just won that because they traded 2 flashes.
The
and ignite.
massive outplay by Danny Taco.
Yeah. Oh my. Right off the bat, Dainty Taco just continuing to bring it.
Flexing. Yeah, these sweaty gamers are ready. They're ready for some more. God, this is hype.
It's already so good before 90 seconds in the game.
You can't ask for more than this. Honestly, this is like pay-per-view at this point. Ooh, Rovine and Spence Champ doing the Galaxy Brain, let me leash. And then walking away. They're doing literally the exact same thing that Air Drake did. I don't know if this is like some kind of big meta play.
Yeah, are we just missing
Spence
that
Champ
this is
just
how people are like...
Spence Champ just hooked a wall.
I think that's also part of it.
Oh my god, this is the best method acting I've ever seen.
Yeah. They really look like they leashed the blue buff.
That's crazy. And Sable's there now. He went he just did the exact opposite. He and Unstream just switched places doing the exact different start, and he's going for the quick level 3, so he's probably trying to make some action happen in this bot lane.
Yep.
But let's focus in on this mid lane, because this is the spice of life right here. Basically, very notably an insane Yasuo player.
Yeah, he makes the big plays, and I think Shu is probably going to respect him a bit there for that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, like you said, Sable's looking at bottom lane. Oh, and Air Drake has no idea. He's got the full flank on them. Spence Champ hits the root onto Dainty Taco, and I think, yeah, they just know he's got no flash. They're just going to pick him off first.
Yeah, Trust Your Karma is just going to walk away, but man, what a good gank by Sable. Unstream and basically try and make some magic happen in the mid lane, but it is Shu still has flash and has not lost any HP. So I'm judging by that it didn't go so great.
It did not. I saw it briefly. He kind of walked in and didn't have a chance to do much. Oh, good damage from Shoemaker at the top lane.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive for the first few levels for Shoemaker. However, Cobalt, after getting some items on Nasus, is going to have a very rough time.
They are looking for the 3-man dive onto this Nasus. They got to make it happen now. With those minions, there's only 2 minions left. Shoemaker takes the tower aggro. He takes another shot. Sickly is going to do the big damage on stream. He's just going to get out with his life.
Yep, and doesn't even burn the flash. Cool, calm, and collected. A great dive by Air. Really aggressive maneuver right there. You love to see
good play. Just be like, well, we lost an advantage in the bot lane. Let's just make something happen in the top lane.
Yeah, this is just some really good games.
Yeah, put the Nasus behind as much as you can. Just make him like push back the time until he becomes a factor in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so looking back at this mid lane, people are just farming. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, actually good. I mean, I would say props to Sickly for staying just about even in farm. In fact, he actually has a chance here to, yeah, pretty much even it up. Even though he roams to get a kill for his top laner, or for the jungler, I guess. And is a melee matchup into Cassiopeia.
Yeah, definitely hard to do, but making it look easy.
Yeah.
Definitely no slouch, but yeah, always good to kind of try and put this Nasus behind. Nasus opting for Spellbook. I think he goes Heal and Exhaust as his starter summer spells, and then as he gets to use more summer spells, he gets different cooldowns. Spence Champ going for the hook. Great hook onto Trustius Karma, layered with the zap. That is a ton of damage. He's having to flash and heal out, but I think they might be out of here. Danny Taco's just going to take a little more return damage. They're going to wait on the zap, but just buy a little bit more damage onto them. Unstream was waiting there in case they kept pushing, but nada.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think Unstream was hoping to make a gank down there, and now he's kind of got no chance of doing that.
No chance.
I wonder what Sable is planning on doing here. I don't think they have any chance of diving.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what he's doing here yet.
Shoemaker might even... I don't even know if he's there, but he's got the pink ward. He's just backing. Yeah, Shoemaker pinged him out, actually, I think.
Yeah, I think he walked in plain sight, so... Yep, definitely an interesting move. But Shu, getting the early tier, as one does on Cassiopeia. Gonna start scaling, stacking that stuff up. Stacks up quite quickly. Shoemaker doing the exact same on his end. As we saw before, this time we're seeing Icily go for the early Negatron cloak. Not even wanting to go... Yeah. Not even just the null magic mantle. The full cloak. The big boy cloak of magic resist.
Yeah, interesting. He's gonna. That's gonna make. Yeah, Shu have a hard time doing any damage to him. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
a lot of magic resist this early.
Yeah, it's definitely a good play this early. Because I think Icically is just Icically is in the business of just farming for right now. Like, I don't think he's worried about killing Shu at this moment. He's worried about killing him later.
Yeah, I think Cobalt is gonna have to peel off this top lane. Oh, he's decides to stay, which might be his undoing because he's got a level 5 Vi. Just flashes onto him. He ults to try to survive. Shoemaker actually kind of tried to back off there. I think maybe he thought he was already dead. Shu gets the teleport down. Shoemaker is in trouble. He just gets the teleport off. Oh,
and with the penguin tip of the hat
oh
emote,
my god.
the fancy feet on this guy.
Yeah,
He's
he
done.
dodges
This isn't the
Sable's
first time
W.
he's done that, and he makes it look amazing every time. The guy is a legend.
Oh, he gets the kill and gets out. Now, Unstream did die for that kill. I think they were a little not on the same page for that, but avoiding getting using Shu's teleport and then avoiding the death is really big.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, like, I guess with the new changes, Cobalt does get a little bit more experience for that. Just for getting the solo kill versus Shoemaker on stream getting the solo kill. But yeah, I mean, right now, Cobalt's in a rough spot. He's not having an easy time stacking like he has been before. They're doing a really good job of like driving attention up there and just kind of.
You just got a bit quieter. If you can move your mic closer.
Oh, I got quieter.
Yeah.
Oh, is that any better?
Nope.
Oh.
Maybe I'm crazy. Chat can let you know if you're quiet.
Yeah.
Might just be on my end.
Is that any better?
No.
No?
I can hear you. It's just quiet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll roll with it.
Okay, well, anyways.
You're
As
audible.
I'm audible, hopefully.
Meanwhile, everyone's just farming up. Icically with that CS lead into Cassiopeia in the mid lane. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, that is definitely something. Definitely some good stuff right there. Stacking up some daggers.
Oh, but meanwhile, Sable actually catches Unstream doing this dragon, and he's gonna go down. Oh, they both smite the dragon, and Unstream just barely doesn't get it. Sable picks up that dragon.
That was
so actually really close.
That was so good. He was able to. He did that while he was knocked up. Like, just super good awareness. Damn, Sable, looking good out there.
Yep, Sable bringing it.
Yep. Still no real huge gold lead one way or the other for these teams. Shoemaker's just having his way in the top lane. Chat, let me know if my mic's any better. I did another quick adjustment.
Yeah, I think you actually do sound better.
Okay.
Although things are not looking better for the Airstrike bot lane. Here comes Fence Champ and Sable. I think Sable doesn't have his ults.
Ooh, but it's a
pop
big
the
bait.
teleport from Shoemaker there, I believe, who at least dissuades them from going any further. But
yeah, just buys Cobalt a little bit more time in this top lane to kind of just pick up a little bit more farm, get some levels.
yeah, that's actually maybe that wasn't the right call for Airstrike, just because they don't want to leave Cobalt alone at all. Shoemaker was doing a really good job at putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it is better than having your bot lane die, especially with Rovian on Jinx. Like, Jinx is one of those champions you just don't give an inch because they will take your Nexus.
Yep, that was a safe call. It's probably the right one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And as we've seen before, Airdrake is going to take the Rift Herald as a trade for that Drake.
Yeah, Cobalt, Spidey senses, aka knowing the Herald was down, opts to go back, knowing that Unstream was kind of fishing for some action. Icically also very notably roaming up from river. This jungle top mid duo is just playing so well together, kind of communicating these plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing to be able to do to a Nasus, like force him off of a wave, make him have to go back and not farm as much. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if the Nasus doesn't have great stacks, then it's not really doing his job. I'll put you in charge of giving us the Nasus stat check.
Oh man, alright, I'll check him.
Yeah, the Fig Newton stat checker.
Yeah, and to start that off, we've got 90 stacks.
90 at 11 minutes is ain't great, but
yeah, it's not fantastic.
it's been a rough early game. What can you expect from the guy?
Yeah, no fault, not faulting Cobalt here, more just the way that the match has been unfolding.
Yep, it's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. It's just the way it is.
Sable looking at the mid lane here, although so is Unstream. He gets to ult and they immediately. Oh! Icicly actually gets ulted in mid-air there, which is really unfortunate. He was going to get some big damage onto Shu. Spence Champ rotates over, and now they're in big trouble, but the Gallia, well, comes down, knocks him up, but it's too late for Unstream and Icicly. Taco just brings himself to his doom.
Oh,
and Jinx is
man.
excited here.
A huge double kill for Rovian, but what a good team play. Like, the bot lane roams up, Icicly in the sickest freeze frame of all time.
Yeah.
Just like mid-ult, frozen there. That was wild.
There must have just been, I guess the CC just didn't perfectly chain, and Shu was just spamming that R button. I don't know how he had time to use his ultimate there.
Yeah, that was... I guess maybe he can buffer it?
Or maybe just, maybe just before he hits the ground he can use that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Either way, makes for a really wild-looking play and a really good rotation on Infernal. And even a good rotation from Airdrake. Like, Trusty's Carbon wasn't able to show up, but Taco was able to be there with the hero's entrance. But having too many people there leads to too many people dying in this case. And right now, Infernal has a very notable gold lead as opposed to last game.
Yeah, not looking quite as close, although again, not really out of either team's hands here.
Nope. Shoemaker is accruing a lead on Rise, and Rise is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, and we might be about to see that gold lead swing back more even as this Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. Gets a bunch of chunks of turret there, Team Airdrake.
Yep, that is cash money into the jungler and mid laner's pockets, and they say we take those and walk away.
Yep, just about a 1k gold lead now, nothing too bad.
Man, this is wild. Shu has 132 farm.
Yeah, he has managed to pull ahead of Icicly, I guess just kind of as they're able to scale on and he gets more jungle pressure, Shu's able to exert that dominance.
That's so good at 13 minutes. That's wild.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
Hitting basically the perfect CS almost. That LCS level. CS.
Yeah, that is some LCS numbers.
And against Icicly, no less.
Yeah, who also was doing quite well for most of the game. I mean, even 114 is certainly not bad, but it's not the crazy CS we're seeing from Shu.
No, and even Rovian's doing really well. Just like kind of accruing gold leads on their own outside of the kills that they're getting, just based off their laning skill.
Oh man, speaking of Rovian, I did not know he's got 3 kills, man. Ooh.
Yeah, this is a big jinx. Big jinx.
Jinx is scary when she has kills. Oh man. Shu getting some nice poke damage on Icicly. Icicly decides he wants to take the aggression to Shu, gets the ignite down. The wall kind of goes a bit far, but Unstream is here to dunk down the snake. And Sable shows up and he thinks he wants to take on the 1v2, takes Icicly away from Unstream. But Unstream gets a ton of knock-up damage. And he's trying to duel him. He thinks he can take him, and I think he might be right.
Yeah, I mean, without the Haymaker, Sable can't really deal the big damn. But
good play
man,
from Airdrake there, Icicly and Unstream.
Yeah, trading flash for flash with the jungler and mid laner. But man, really good coordination there by mid jungle duo.
Oh, taunt lands onto both members of Team Infernal there. They're tanky, but there's a lot of damage there, and no damage is going to come out from Infernal. Sable is getting caught up. Caitlyn ult comes down at kind of an odd time, but that's fine. He does not get the kill.
Here's Shu on the flank.
Yep, now they've got to try to run out. Spence Champ trying to get behind him. He might hit the hook, but no, he just misses. But Team Air is just running for their lives against Shu. The heal comes out a little late, but it I'm not sure it would have saved him.
No. And that was so bad. The camera just jumped away to Shu in the middle of that. But that's alright. We take those. Either way, this gold lead is very small.
Yeah, not much, less than 1k now. And again, this is what we saw last game. It's just back and forth. It's like, oh man, Infernal makes a crazy play, and then oh man, Airdrake makes a crazy play.
It kind of feels like a b-boy battle where it's everyone just kind of takes turns styling each other, like the end of 8 Mile.
Oh shoot! You tries to catch Trusty's Karma with the ult over the wall there, but it must have just been out of range. A rare misplay we do not see from Shu much.
Yeah. But meanwhile, this Drake is just being mowed down by Rovian, Sable, and Spence Champ.
Yeah, I mean,
but Airdrake's wise. They're here for it. Great steal! Oh man, and Sable is just trying to do what he can. Haymaker just peeling off. Yeah, Rovian's able to pick up that or not pick up that kill. Sable is, but man, great steal. We say worth.
Yeah, I'll say that's worth.
And now this time, each of them get their own respective drakes.
Balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, this series is just wild.
Yeah.
And Shoemaker is doing the things in the top lane, aka damage. Lots of it.
Yeah, Icically calling out in the chat. The Drake per team combo.
Oh man. A little legendary one, fam.
This is actually another game where I look at the members of both teams and I'm like, I don't know. I still don't know who scales again. Because I'm like, man, they got a Jinx, a Nasus, and a Cassiopeia. That scales pretty hard. But then you're like, oh man, they've got a Ryze and a Yasuo. I mean, like, everybody scales here. Maybe the real late game I'd have to give to Infernal, but it's...
Right, yeah, I mean, at some point, there is a world at some point, Infernal does have the mega scale.
Yes.
But you have to
Shoemaker
get there.
might get baited a bit here. Cobalt ults to just try to stay alive, but Shoemaker, it has 3 levels on Sable. Sable doesn't want this.
No, he doesn't. He has Unstream in his back pocket coming up right now, so he's just able to play aggressively. They're going to have to give over this tower. And meanwhile, they're also going to have to give over this tower in mid lane. Icicly's able to take that one down, getting the first tower while getting the tower up in the top lane. This is money back into the pocket of Airdrake. It is now a 400 gold difference.
If we can see the gold shift into the favor of Team Airdrake, now that'd be crazy.
This is I expect this gold lead to go back and forth a few more times before this is through.
Airdrake's going to take the celebratory red buff from Infernal's jungle as well, and then they're going to move on to Rifty, which I think is going to be pretty uncontested. They are the king of the Rift Herald that we've seen in this series.
Yep, definitely, and they've done a really good job of capitalizing on the first one by getting plate, and then using the second one to kind of break open the map just a little bit more. No wasted heralds here.
Yeah, they're not just getting them. They're using them really well, which maybe that's the big difference between which is better. Oh man, the Ryze ult comes down trying to cut off Shu, who is definitely in an awkward position. I think the bot lane's trying to rotate to help him, but he might get caught out by Shoemaker. Yeah, he flashes in there trying to catch Shu. He ducked. Shoemaker ducks away to dodge the Cassiopeia ult. Big play. Shu actually still has a little bit of health, but Icicly is hot on his tail. Gets to cut down. Rovian's actually able to take down Icicly, but Spence Champ is going to fall, making that a 2-for-1 in favor of Airdrake.
Yep, this is this is a banger.
Shoemaker just does the little double back to dodge that Cassiopeia. That was
cute.
Oh man.
That was GD cute.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was such a good play. Having that ward to recognize that Shu was out of position, trying to capitalize on it, but Shu just lasts so long in that fight. Like just a very, very long time, which makes it difficult, kind of forcing Icicly to kind of overextend in order to get that kill and then pay for it with his life.
Yeah, it was close. I think if he had his wind wall up, I think he would have been okay, but he must have already used it earlier in the fight.
Yeah, I think they'd used it when Shu was trying to ult.
Ooh, Cobalt switching to Ignite from Exhaust. Does he think he's at the level where he can fight Shoemaker?
Hell no.
I don't think he is.
I think he's just I think he's just gonna burn it because it's an easy one to burn, and also you have to take all of them at some point. So.
Oh yeah, true.
Or you have to take at least not all of them. I think you have to take like 70% of them before it lets you go back to ones you've had before.
Yeah, I'm actually not very familiar with that, how the book works now.
Yeah,
I haven't taken it in a long time.
Oh, it's so good. Best rune in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, this is some good stuff. This is the spice of life.
Yeah, it's a 2 to 300 gold lead. It's so close.
Next Drake is Mountain. They are all going to be Mountain. Danny Taco maybe caught out, just doing a nice flash there to get out of that. Not wanting to fall before this Drake spawns.
Yep, definitely the right call to stay healthy, even though he doesn't have his flash. It's just going to cut down on the initiation potential that Airdrake's got. But they're going to just pop Rift Herald middle and say, come get us, Infernal.
Yep, they're forcing a question. Do you take the dragon or do you protect your tower? I mean, the correct answer is protect your tower, but...
They might have a chance to catch Infernal in the rotation here.
Yep, they're going to be able to get a good chunk of damage there, and now that they have the priority onto this dragon.
And they're going to rise ult just to get positioning on the dragon there. Dropping the pink wards. There's 3 pink wards, 4 pink wards there for Team Air. Oh, Trustiest Karma's kind of out of position though. He's getting chunked down by the Jinx. And Sable actually gets in there, but he does not get the dragon. Unstream goes back onto Rovian, doing tons of damage, takes down Rovian. Shoemaker is at full health here, but there are 4 members of Team Infernal alive here, and I don't think Shoemaker can take them all.
Nope, I don't think so. This is not the fight. That is a clean ace for Infernal with a very, very standout victory in that team fight. Not getting the dragon, but taking Team Air with them. And now they're looking Baron.
Look to take Baron.
Oh yeah, Baron, yeah. Le Baron.
Even though Rovian was the only member of Team Infernal to die there, I think he dished out a lot of damage before he died. I think he took down so much of Trustiest Karma's health with just dishing rockets at him. Trustiest Karma was kind of just not in the most defensive place there for that fight.
No. Yeah, definitely being in a rough spot there, and I mean, Rovian just deals so much damage. But yeah, Unstream able to get on top of him just isn't. I mean, you have to dive in there, and Unstream isn't that tanky right now. Having Triforce and Cinderhulk, like, you aren't quite at that full dive rebuild. You probably need a little bit more defensive items before you can maybe survive your dives a little bit better.
Yeah, although that being said, he beat the crap out of Rovian there.
Oh, hell yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, most of the damage on the Rovian was just Unstream punching him. Wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna need to do something very soothing after this.
Yeah. Like rewatch this series again because this is so good. All right, Shoemaker's in the top lane, creating pressure up there, doing a good job. I mean, he doesn't have teleport up, but he does have ult.
Yeah, he's already shown us he can do some fancy moves.
He's drawing a lot of pressure. Icically has to match Cobalt in this bot lane, but I don't think that he actually has the strength to kind of like 1v1 kill him.
Oh, Shoemaker decides he wants to kind of stick it out here. He's being a little risky, although he feels confident in his ability to just kite Sable here, which he does. Makes him look like a slow boy.
Oh yeah, kites him out real good.
Yeah.
Phase rush definitely looking good. Here we go.
Sable actually opting for that Gargoyle Stone Plate really early. He just wants to be invincible in those team fights.
Yep. Can we get a NASA stacks check?
Oh yes, we can.
Chad's calling on it.
He is at. Oh, come on, game. He's at 411 now. That's looking
411. There you go. That's what you want to see.
looking quite a bit better.
Much better than 90.
That's the current bonus damage. Is that the amount of stacks? Is it always
there's a stack you can tell by at the top of yeah, it's 414.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, you're right.
It seemed really high, honestly, but I guess he's been getting those stacks.
Yep, he's been stacking up. He's got 30% CDR at least. So.
Yeah, you look at him on that wave. He's just, oh man, he's at 438 now. Just from the last time we checked.
Yep, he's crushing it.
Oh, those rockets from Rovian are just beating up Trustiest Karma.
Oh, fighting the top lane. Shoemaker and Shu are going at it. Oh, but he's grounded. Shu is able to kill Shoemaker in the solo kill. And this mid lane turret's going to fall too, and they're going to try and dive this maybe. Rovian is doing what he can, getting the damage. Hook's going wide, and that is not going to be enough to make anything happen. But great outplay by Shu up in that top lane.
Yeah, they split up Air Drake, and they're kind of doing their thing, soloing him right now, and I think they feel like Cobalt actually can kind of stand against Icicly here, which he probably can. It's going to be tricky for Icicly to actually get a kill.
Wither is very, very good against Yasuo.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if maybe they should have swapped their solo laners there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now this Cassiopeia is very strong.
Yeah, it's hard to know who could actually match her. And the Jinx too. I mean, the Jinx is able to just like, with the front line of Sable and Spence in front of the Jinx, it's just like, it's so hard to reach her, and she can just smash down those rockets. And I mean, we see Trustiest, if Trustiest Karma gets in range to try to trade, Rovian just smashes her with a rocket. It's just like, it's hard to know what to do.
Absolutely. Dragon coming up shortly. Sable is ready and not doing any setups. Definitely an unskilled player. Should be doing sit-ups whenever you can.
Yeah. Gotta stay fit.
Yeah. Your abs per second is honestly more important than your wards or damage.
Spence Champ is alone here, but I don't think Team Airdrake realizes it. They're not going to really capitalize on that.
No, Shu comes up to kind of provide a little bit of a bodyguard. Zoning, but with this miasma. They're just going to try and burn this down.
Yeah, Airdrake clears some wards, but Sickly takes so much damage. Just a little bit of poke there from Shu, and he's already at half health. That's really rough. It's hard to tell if he can make an impact on this. Unstream gets in there.
Oh!
Sable knocks him over the pit. The Galliavolt comes down. Sickly is actually still alive. He gets the ult down, but he finally drops to Shu, who is doing what Shoemaker did last time, and he's killing everybody from the back line.
And here comes Nasus. Nasus is doing a Big Daddy Nasus stuff, but not anymore. Unstream's able to punch him down. Trustiest Karma is trying to do whatever Trustiest Karma can do, which is actually not enough. He's going to fall. Another clean ace for Infernal. This is looking very much more like a lopsided Infernal game after a very, very even early game.
Yeah, that close gold lead we were talking about is now at about 6,000 gold.
Yeah, definitely not a repeat.
Very quickly.
Which is probably okay for people's bedtimes and people's sanities. But man, Infernal are really just taking control of this game.
Yeah, it's hard to know how Airdrake is going to plan to come back from it. It seems like Infernal is able to beat them in the solo lanes and beat them in the team fight. They're just so far ahead at this point.
Yep, Yasuo is very hard to pilot when behind. Yep. As I'm sure many of you have seen in your solo queue games when he goes 0-10.
Even though he hits that power spike.
He does hit that power spike eventually. He will get there. Right now, it's looking like he might be going for the Infinity Edge, trying to get the big dam online.
Yeah,
but that is a long way away.
Definitely a big jump for him.
But yeah, they have to hold out till then, because that is a long ways away.
He opted for a much more defensive build. That Wit's End coming out pretty early, which great survivability, gets you some attack speed, but no crit. No crit on Yasuo.
No. Definitely respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sasha noting the Unstream double Phage build.
Yeah.
Phage does not stack, so whoopsie.
Yeah, that passive on that Phage is not going to be doing anything right now.
No, and that's the kind of thing
he sells it.
Yep, and that's the kind of thing that you notice in these kind of like long games. It's definitely like a mental battle as well. But right now, Infernal is on this Baron. It's burning down slowly. Shu isn't there, but I think that Airdrake does know about it.
They're tanky with a Cassiopeia and a Jinx, that thing's gonna fall quickly. They're trying to play it safe, and yeah, I don't think Airdrake really has anybody get in. You know, Trustiest Karma's in the jungle, Shoemaker's in the mid lane. I don't think Airdrake is really too interested in contesting it anyway.
No, I don't think so. They're just trying to do what they can, which is at this point run away, probably give up this tower, because I don't think this is the tower you want to defend. Shoemaker's still in base. And right now, Infernal just has to wait for minions. The rest of their map is looking in pretty good shape.
The miasma is so oppressive. It pretty much just traces a line on the ground. It's like you can't really defend past this point.
No, and it helps when you have a really fed Jinx on the other end of that line.
Oh man, Trustiest Karma got withered there, but nice wind wall from Icically to stop any potential damage coming down.
Yep, Unstream just smiting away the cannon. They just need to buy time. I mean, as much time as Airdrake can buy is it. Like, if they can survive this Baron push, which I think they should be able to, short of some kind of disaster, it just gives them more time to scale. And, like, right now, the carries of Airdrake just need that time to scale.
Well, the Ryze ult comes down, the Vi ult comes down onto Rovian, who drops immediately. It is a 4v5 now. Big taunt coming out from Dainty Taco, who is actually tanking 3 members' damage there, but Shu is still at full health. Now it is Unstream and Icically versus Shu. Icically gets the knock up. He's playing against Shu here, but it is now 3 versus 1. He may have had the 1v1, but he's not going to have the 3v1.
That was a sick-looking team fight for Air. I don't know. They don't have a great way to get around it. I mean, like, it's so hard to kill Set. Set gets so tanky with the shield he gets from Haymaker. Nasus is so hard to kill. I mean, Rovian wasn't that hard to kill, to be honest. And then Shu with the Zonias and the Saracen Brace Shield just is like also super slippery. Level 17 already for both Nasus and Shu. Like, they are just looking so good. And this game is going to go, I think, their way. I don't know if there's a way that Airdrie can stop this.
Yeah, it's 2 inhibitors down for Team Air, and they haven't lost the game, but it's sure not looking good.
No, it sure ain't.
I mean, it's so hard as Airdrie because they executed. I mean, they made that fight a 4v5. Like, they took out Rovian before there was much chance for Infernal to do anything, and even Dainty Taco was like, Shu was focusing on Dainty Taco for a fair bit of that fight to start off, but Sable was, again, he was also so invincible, him and Cobalt, that it was just hard for the damage of Airdrake to get through the tanky front line.
I know. It feels like the target selection, like after the kill under Rovian, wasn't quite there.
Oh, on stream flashes over just a little
That
too
was
late.
ballsy. Honestly, that wasn't the Drake that you really needed to steal. You needed to steal the next one, because now you're at a 4v5 disadvantage. This is a rough spot for you to be in.
Yeah, I don't think that was the play. I think they should have been okay losing that dragon. I mean, best case, he gets the dragon and then dies. It's still probably not worth it.
Yep, Icically putting up the wind wall, dissuade any aggression. Sable just kind of running in there because, you know what, he can. The girls can kind of do what they want, it feels like, at this point. Rovian has to position carefully, though.
This is rough. Flash ult coming out from Shu, gets the grounded onto Shoemaker, who's just barely still alive, puts the shield up, still hanging on. Dainty Taco on Shu, but he's the only one left. That's going to be a clean ace.
That's going to be a clean ace, and amazing 2-0 coming out from Infernal in a banger of a series. That was a hell of a game. You got to put props to them because that was just great League of Legends from, honestly, both sides.
Yeah, that was a really, really good series. I think both teams lived up to the expectations that people had for such well-respected teams.
Yeah, that was so good. That was a really hype series. I think that people are going to be looking forward to this matchup again when they hopefully see it again in playoffs because, yeah, both teams looked really good, had some really amazing plays. So really props to both teams. Let's get some interviews. Who do we want to talk to? I feel like, I don't know, man. Let me see who has been, I think we have a small list of people.
Yeah, I don't know who
have
has been called in. I don't know if we want to avoid repeats.
We don't have it filled in for last week, and we don't have it filled in for the week before. But at some point, Spence Champ was brought in, and at some point, yeah, I don't know. So someone did a bad job recording the Infernal ones. It was me. It was me. But yeah, I think that Shu probably deserves his interview of the season.
All right.
Yep.
And now's the time.
Yep. Bring in Shu. We can bring in the Shu Sable combo. I think they deserve it. We always try and hold off for them because they already get enough hype and praise. But ladies and gentlemen, this performance I think deserves it. Sean, if you want to just hop into down there and then just mute yourself on Zoom.
Yep.
Okay. And I need to just set up some stuff. Can you reach out to them and make sure that they're around? Oh, wait. By the way, you have a different mic input for Discord versus Zoom.
Sam.
Yeah. So give us a second while we set up the interviews. But, yeah.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's better.
Just be getting Sable. Shu had to bounce.
Okay, cool. Let's get someone else as well. Let's get
from Airdrake or
let's get Cobalt.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. He was insane. Let me delete this. Cobalt.
How do I mute you in Zoom? Is there any way for me to do that?
There is, yeah.
I'm a Zoom noob.
It's okay. We've all been there.
Not that 2 Bryans isn't great and everything, but
Cool. All right, I'm gonna start dragging him in.
okay.
Aha, drag myself in.
Haha, the man has the
Aha.
power. Congratulations on that 2-0. Just like, I'm not even going to add, the only question I have for you is just talk us through some of the highlights of that series, and like all your thoughts and feelings, because that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of a series.
Well, the first game, the 15-minute pause is my favorite part.
Dude, it's because the game was so hot that it overheated Rovian's computer.
Yeah, for sure. No, but we had a lot of misplays in the first game, and our communication was a little lacking, so we fell into some deficits that we really shouldn't have. Me personally, I was playing like an early game jungler. I was able to get ahead early, but then after like 30 minutes, Rek'Sai is not a champion anymore. Just a flash knockup.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Air Drake played super well, and it was really scary going into every team fight with them. We had to get on their back line and have crisp comms and stuff, and we were fortunate to be able to come away with the win, but it was hard fought.
I would say whatever deficit it felt like you had wasn't that large. I think the largest deficit of that game was maybe like 1K for most of it, if that.
You guys were close pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, it was insane. But
Bullshit.
yeah, I guess so circling back, what was the prep going into this week? Because it looks like both teams put in a lot of prep and practice into the comps that they were doing. Yeah, I guess what were you prepared for? What weren't you prepared for?
So we actually ended up streaming them a bunch in the past couple weeks, and we had our ban pretty much set for the past week. We knew what we wanted to ban with them. That's why they went pretty fast. I don't think we were prepared. We were like super expecting them to take the Cassiopeia top. We knew that the Cassiopeia was an option. The top lane pick was a little bit surprising, I'll say. But I felt like we just knew we wanted to play weak side anyway, so it was just another weak side matchup for Cobalt on the top side, just a different champion.
And with the Rise left up both games, what was the thought process behind that? Because you don't really see teams ever really doing that in Rekt League.
We just felt like they hadn't been practicing it, so they wouldn't really be super like ready to play it.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you got for me, Gulen? Sorry, I'm just like a little fried as well. That game was that game was so exciting.
It was such a long time. I'm curious about like what was the mindset behind picking Cass in the second game? Was it kind of like an adaptation because you wanted to take it away from them, or was it kind of just always something you had in your pool?
I think the latter. Definitely something we've had in our pool.
It looked like a big flex. Not gonna lie, it looked like a big boy flex. Like, all right, we saw you do it. Now let's show you how it's really done. Picking it up that first round. Yeah, it definitely looked like a big boy flex. But so yeah, going into this, there's definitely been a lot of memes about the Infernal play style, the slow, the cool, the calm, the collected. I think that this game like kind of just shows why that play style is so good. I guess what are the comms like to kind of get you into these situations where you're like going into these 44-minute bangers, and like what is the shot calling like in these team fights? Because like they just look so crisp and good, and like also very like complex and layered in terms of like how they play out.
You want to take this one, Zabe?
Sure. So myself personally, I had to really tone down my aggression to play on this team. I mean, I tend to go a little ham sometimes, and the communication from Cobalt, from Shu, and from the rest of the team kind of really me in over the past month has made it easier for me to play this slower style with the team. And the way our comms usually go, if we have a small advantage in the early game, we don't want to overforce to grow that. If we have a composition that's like safe to do that with, if we have a composition that we know we need to create more off of our advantage, we're going to go for that. So I've really just our MO is not forcing things, which I think is a little slower, but we view it as safer, and we don't want to like go for greedy plays if we don't have to.
So what you're saying is you're just playing good League of Legends, and what people criticize is you playing good League of Legends?
I guess you could say that. I mean, that's not for me to say. That's for somebody else to say.
Well, we'll let people infer what they will, but definitely some good League of Legends on display there. Cobalt, that Malphite was so good.
Oh yeah,
That Malphite was insane. What was it like being in the top lane there? What was your game one experience? Because I felt like a lot of that game one hinged on your engages and you being that primary engage. Cause
Yeah.
it was sweet.
Definitely blew the first couple team fights when I like missed my ult just a little bit and on the Caitlyn. So I think I only ulted, I forget who, but
It was
that one
just
goofed
Trundle.
up.
Yeah.
And we lost the fight near
yeah.
Dragon because of that one.
Mhm.
That one felt bad. And then the other one I engaged prematurely, and I wasn't looking at the Trundle pillar in the back, and all of our carries were stuck on the Trundle pillar from the slow. So we lost that fight because of that one. So that's just something that I need to look better at going forward. I was kind of just like staring at their team, waiting for them to group up, like to get the 2 targets that I wanted. But after that, I was just hungry, looking for the right engages there, and that's something I like to do a lot. So
Yeah, you
definitely
had a sick
comfort.
one. You stick one later in the game in the river near Dragon, where you actually managed to hit Icicly and Shoemaker, both the mages, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the laning phase was tough though. Any laning phase against Shoemaker is going to be tough, but he's abusive with the Cassiopeia. That wasn't a fun laning phase.
Yeah, but you survived it as well as anyone could expect, right? So it kind of did what you needed to.
Yeah, I got to be the rock for my team. No pun intended.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely rock indeed. Like, I don't know, there were just like so many crazy team fights. Like, I think there was that one where, I don't know, I think Rovian maybe got, no, not Rovian, maybe Sable. I don't know, someone fell over by Baron Pit, and it was a 4v5, and you guys kind of kited it out, and then managed to like turn around after some like really good catches and plays.
Oh,
Like,
that fight was super scary.
That was so scary.
Are you talking about the one where
you had like 10 HP?
I had like 10 HP and I was like hiding in the bush because Unstream just like ran and murdered me. And then I just kind of waited and waited and waited, and I was just like, we got to where like the blue buff was, and I was just started screaming Matt, 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 because they all like lined up like perfectly, and then I sent the Malphite ult because I still had the ult up, and Zabel just like nutted when he saw that. It was funny.
It was so good.
Awesome.
Sure.
So let's see. Well, who do you guys face next week? Let's see. What's your schedule looking like for the rest of the season? We only got 2 weeks left of regular season.
Like Ocean schedules.
You got Ocean and Sentinels. So what are your thoughts on the Ocean matchup right now? Looking
forward to it. Looking forward to it. We love the Ocean boys, so it's gonna be a blast.
Should be a banger. Yeah. Any final words for you guys?
Bring your best hype video.
Yeah, hell yeah. Or buy it. You can buy it. You can buy a hype video.
Yeah, I heard somebody is making hype videos.
Huh? Yeah. That's
yeah.
If you donate to the Patreon and you get the JMoose special, you can get your own hype video made. It's a lot of work and definitely not sustainable, but here we are. So yeah.
Got to get that pandemic side hustle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Making that fat money. And with that, we got the resub from KM Pancakes. Let's go. We are at 48 subs for the Valorant League.
Oh man!
And I just got Valorant.
Are we actually gonna
just
do
got
it?
Valorant today.
All right, so there goes your league season.
That's what I said this morning.
Yeah,
He's like, guys, I got the Valorant key. I'm like, well, GG. I guess we're done.
Yep. At least you put up a great show tonight. We won't see any more of that. But yeah. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been a banger of a night. Thank you, Gulen, for joining me on this. This has been a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Brian. It's been awesome.
Yeah. All right. And to all of you at home,